Excited to be in person with me. It is the Packers Hall of Famer. It is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, go ahead.
So we love coming down. We come down here at least once a year, sometimes twice. And Gina and the team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin have been awesome partners for really the duration of this show. And they are great hosts. So we come down, and it is, we're going to do the show. There's not like we're not doing any, we're doing the show. And then you and I and some other cast of characters are going to be shooting commercials that will be with Gina. And they're nice enough to kind of throw an invite out. Like say, hey, you're doing the show for a couple hours. We're going to be providing coffee, anything else. And
do you want donuts?
No, it was
coffee,
bagels,
juice.
So there's literally you and me, and we have our teammates from ESPN Milwaukee. And you could have easily just said, oh, that's great, Gina. Yeah, coffee's great, like I did. Or you could say, all of it sounds great. So now it is a bounty of bagels.
I noticed you ate a bagel for someone who's giving me a hard time for ordering bagels.
Because you're forcing my hand, man.
You were not forced to eat a bagel.
Well, you're going to sit here and have 400 bagels sitting here.
Well,
but then the part that is really interesting.
Oh, boy.
So I get here, 15 minutes, as always, well early to prep for the show. And Jason, and I can't confirm this, so you'll have to say, you told the folks up front that you needed cream cheese, and you sent them out to go get more cream cheese?
Totally false.
Well, I'm just telling you, there's a car comes up, and it's, the store's not even open yet. And there's somebody bringing in cream cheese, and talent wanted cream cheese is what I was told.
No.
I know I didn't send a note.
I didn't either. I didn't even use cream cheese.
You said all of it sounds great. So in essence, you said, so now we got tapioca juice and cranberry juice.
Tapioca
What is that, mango?
Juice?
We got more juice. We got juice coming out our ears.
All right, I'm already wishing I was back home instead of in person with you. I do not use cream cheese on my bagels. So it wasn't me that ordered them.
All right. I didn't say it was you.
You did, actually.
I implied. I didn't say.
I think you
Great to be with you live
on
from the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield, where we are shooting a commercial a bit later today.
You've definitely Jessied it by saying, I'd love the bagels. I'd love the donuts.
It sounded great.
I'd love the You could just – because –
just because you only wanted coffee and then you ate a bagel
anyway. I didn't
want
one. Just for the record, I didn't want one, but they're here and they're fantastic.
I will say this. One of the reasons why I didn't say, hey, the coffee sounds great, is because then I would have had to ask for creamer, and then that complicates matters. So I didn't do that.
No, instead you just ordered 15 different types of juices.
didn't need that many bagels.
And
Other
by the way,
people will eat them.
And by the way, I want to make sure there's no pulp, and I would like for it to be hand-squeezed.
That is some good-looking juice there. And I'm totally drinking out of one of those Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mugs and then taking it with me. I don't know if that's okay or not.
Yeah, that's a smart idea.
All right. Well, we will be here all morning throughout the show, and then we'll be sticking around. So come on down. It's the place to be if you're thinking about replacing your windows or doors. You can say hi to Tausch. There's going to be some other luminaries here that will be starring in this commercial, but I don't give those guys the attention because you're really the star.
Well, we'll see. I think Gina's the star, as always.
Of course.
And it'll be a little bit Title Tony, just to give a little tip. It'll be Title Tony, but obviously
no real singing from what I could see.
Well, you don't know. That's the beautiful part about doing these shoots is you get to ad-lib a little bit. Put it on their legal team.
That sounds like a great idea. I'm just going to stick to my line that I was practicing all the way down. Everybody's talking about it. See, I've been practicing.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm very excited.
Speaking very Costanza-ish.
Speaking of excitement, the Packers have locked up their kicker. Brandon McManus agrees to a 3-year, $15.3 million deal. It includes $5 million in a guaranteed signing bonus. Tausch, one of the least surprising signings probably that we've seen when you endure rookie kicker number 1, then rookie kicker number 2, and then you get a guy who's done it before and kicked in a Super Bowl. You probably don't want to go back to the rookie carousel.
Well, yesterday's price isn't today's price. And yesterday, a la 2 years ago or 3 years ago, this was a young team that didn't have championship aspirations. You can say all you want. There's always You have a starting quarterback in his first year, and you're going young everywhere. You can go young at kicker. Well, That team exceeded expectations. The kicking game did not. And I'm not saying it cost games. It definitely changed the tone of the San Francisco playoff game. It did. And then you put that scenario back in play last offseason, and it was a hot mess. And from a kicking standpoint, it's a lot like offensive line. You want to have good ones. You don't want to hear about it. And you don't want to constantly have to be talking about it because typically when you are, it's in a negative light. And what this signing did last season, it solidified and stabilized the spot that needed it. And now that this is a championship caliber roster and team, at least that's what they think. I know some fans disagree with that. I think this is a team that can do that. You need to have that spot. Games are going to be won or lost directly by that. And it happened this year 3 or 4 times. It will again next year. And what you did by signing Brandon McManus is you took one potential issue off the table. And when there's a free agent, when you allow a guy to go free agent and, you know, the whole deadline spurring action and all of that, the franchise tag yesterday, they would have tagged him had they not gotten a deal. They would have tagged him. And then they would have tried to figure out that deal. They came to terms because I'm sure, I don't know what the exact guarantees were. You said 5, I'm guessing, you know, with the salary this year and the signing bonus, whatever that is, it'll be more than what the franchise tag was. He gets that stability he's looking for. The Packers get the stability they're looking for. So I think it was the biggest no-brainer of the offseason outside of re-signing Zach Tom to a big extension. This would have been opportunity number 1.
So the deal averages 5.1 per season, 5.1 million per season. He gets that $5 million up front. Obviously, he's going to get this year's salary, but you don't have to count him $6 million against the cap this year.
Spread it out over 3.
And that allows you, maybe you are able to keep now an Eric Wilson, who doesn't cost a whole lot, is a quality special teams guy, quality backup at linebacker. You still need depth there, even though you brought back Isaiah McDuffie. I'm glad you brought this up because I went back into my archives for my Channel 3000 story today. And this is what
How does that work? Does all your old articles become your archives, or do you go
No.
to different? How does that work?
I mean, I've got them all in my computer after writing them, and then I go back into, like, the quotes. And
So is it the Wilde archive? Is it the old State Journal archive? Is it the Athletic archive?
it's just the Wilde archive.
Oh, that's what
There's
I'm asking.
A lot of things I've written over the years, but I don't copy and paste because that would be plagiarizing myself, I guess. But the quote that Goody used when we asked him about Mason Crosby going into the 2022 season was, for where our football team is, having a championship kind of kicker, a guy who can compete at that level, is important. Now, 2022 did not turn out to be a championship caliber season. They finish 8-9. They miss the playoffs. They lose at home in the finale that would have sent them to the postseason. But that was the mentality of bringing back Mason Crosby for another year. The point you just made makes me wonder. Clearly, Goody did not think they were championship caliber in 2023.
They did not.
In 2024, though, obviously Brandon McManus is dealing with the fallout of his behavior on the flight to London with the Jaguars. They wait until that's been resolved before they sign him. But they still went with a rookie kicker going into last season.
Yeah, I just don't know what other choices they had. You know, there was other veteran kickers available.
They had Greg Joseph in camp.
Yeah, but he didn't exactly knock the socks off and beat out.
Didn't.
I thought they should have stuck with Anders. Anders obviously still struggled a little bit. He made some long kicks. They went and rolled the dice, went young, grabbed somebody with a big leg, and he was not up to task. And again, part of this is the growth happened quicker than I think Goody thought. He was hoping to have the next Mason, the next Ryan Longwell, someone that would grow with the team just like the wide receivers and then, tight end, all the other positions did. The team grew too fast. The kicker was not ready, and it ended up costing you a little bit. And the last thing you want to do as a talent evaluator and a GM is feel like you knew there was an issue and you didn't do anything about it. And to Goody's credit, he could have just kept rolling the dice and hoping that Narvi would come out of it or that Anders would just be better. And he said, no, we're too good. I want to sleep at night. We're going to take – once McManus settled all of his stuff, we're bringing him in. We know what he can do, and he solidified that spot. And it made this signing, I think this re-signing, relatively a no-brainer.
He kicked in Super Bowl 50 with the Broncos. He is hoping to obviously kick in Super Bowl 60 with the Packers. He will turn 34 as training camp gets underway. Is the only pushback I got from some fans was, well, he did miss a kick in the playoff game, which is true. He did. He missed a 38-yarder in Philadelphia. But the guy missed 2 kicks after he got here. I mean, he was virtually automatic. He had 2 walk-off game winners.
Kicking in Lambeau in October is different than kicking in January, February when the money's on the table. So it is definitely something that I think you can pause if you want, because that was a big kick. Now, do I have a ton of confidence in him? He gave me a lot to have that, but if you don't think that you're going to be thinking about, well, how's he going to do in the postseason, that's what this comes down to. But as far as a regular season kicker goes, he was dynamite last season.
Speaking of dynamite, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is dynamite, especially with the 6 years. A lot can happen from what I hear.
Yeah, and it's running out here. Boy, February flew by. Opposite of October. This deal, 6 years, things fly by. You look up, you're going to be coaching your last season of baseball. I mean, your kids are getting into high school. I just thought about it. My kid will now vote. The next presidential election, he'll vote. How crazy is that? 6 years. A lot happens. You go from changing diapers to dropping your kid off at school. Get a bachelor's and a master's degree and get a senatorial, full-on senator deal. 6 years. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand-new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest, 72 months. Jason Spitz, 72 months of 0% financing, and you get that 10-year labor warranty, Jordan Love. That is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on Friday, so set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
More from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center in Brookfield. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Don's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious. Get plenty to eat and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
All right, Madison, let's face it. Predicting the bracket is hard, but enjoying a month of nonstop college basketball is easy, especially when it's paired with the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light is giving you a shot to attend the ultimate watch party in Vegas for the final days of the tournament. Just go to budlight.com/easypicks to enter for your chance to win. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on 1/6/25 and ends 3/30/25. Multiple entry periods. Visit budlight.com/easypicks for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Ooh, doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so. Sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding.
So the kicking component has been resolved.
Donezo. Good to go. No more worries.
How about the wide receiver component?
Big problems.
Big? You think?
I would argue of every spot we're looking at, that's the spot that needs to be addressed more than anything.
Really?
What else would you put it at?
Well, I don't love
Jason,
the fact
we
that
led
you're
the league in drops.
That's true, but mostly by
we
two
got
guys that aren't going anywhere.
Who?
Most of those drops were by Dontavion Wicks and Jaden Reed, but those guys are going to be huge parts of what they do offensively still.
Maybe too big of parts.
You can argue that. You're telling me that they're
fact that our
more
best,
than the defensive line and more than corner.
Yes.
Okay.
You disagree?
Convince me.
I just did. We led the league in drops. The reason the inconsistency in Jordan Love's completion percentage and all of those things, I can't even get into where the routes run correctly, all of the other things. Was there, a consistency there all season? No. There were games guys had flashes, but our most explosive best wideout ain't going to be there. You put it in February, January. I don't know about all that, but
kind of like the bagels and cream cheese.
He's going to be out a while.
Uh-huh.
One of your other guys decides he ain't going to be there. He takes a week off mid-season.
Romeo Dobbs.
Jaden Reed has a lull and doesn't come out of it, even though they go specifically and say, we're going to start addressing and going at it. He didn't take that next step. Your guy, Wicks.
Better in the second half than he was in the first half.
Was he the guy that you hoped for all season?
No, he was not.
So how can you say any other position needs to upgrade and get better than that group? Now, I agree, these guys, there's a growth, but there's an urgency. And for me, defensive line, you have a lot of talent there. Do we need someone? I totally want someone infused in, whether it's a free agent. But if you're asking me urgency and why I've been on the Devontae train as hard as I've been, because it fits everything that I'm just talking about. He ain't going to drop balls. Didn't you hear Jordan Love say I think he dropped 3 balls in his career?
I did hear him say that.
What
I brought
was
that up the other day.
Was that an interesting little nugget?
It was, very much
that
so.
He dropped? So it's not me just thinking this.
It's not us just thinking
Jordan is not – well, I don't know. I can't speak for you. Jordan is obviously not going to throw his guys under the bus. Josh Jacobs did. There's a sense of urgency from Josh because he sees, hey, running back careers go. Like that hamster wheel's moving. He wants to win.
The league comes at you fast.
So why I've been on the Devontae train, I'm listening to the guys in that locker room. Now, Goody doesn't have to, but I know he does.
Says he doesn't.
And the list of veteran wideouts, is getting bigger and bigger that is available to pick up. Devontae is by far, in my opinion, the best fit for what this team and this roster of wideouts needs. If you want to go big and go after a T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, whomever, great. But then you're basically saying, we're not wiping out the whole thing, but we needed this. Devontae allows you to have a soft reset with the ability to let these young guys you feel good about, that we all felt good about last offseason, and we don't feel great about now, to continue to grow and not have that burden of being the number one, facing the number one corner on other teams, and all of a sudden now that whole group is going to be that much better if you bring someone like Devontae in.
So we have been on the same page with that from the very beginning. My argument, too, is that if you bring in Davante Adams, he is not anointed your number one for the next 4 years the
Probably
way
a year or
DK Metcalf would be. It sets up that succession like there had been where he surpassed Jordy, and Jordy surpassed Greg, and Greg surpassed Donald. And that allows the two guys that we're talking about that were disappointing last year because they did not make.
Was Randall ever the number one?
I mean, statistically in 2014, if you include the playoffs, he caught more passes than Jordy did that year. But Jordy had a huge year that year, too. So I don't – there was a time where you could have said it was 1 and 1A when during that
season. Does this group
season.
have any chance to be anywhere close to that group?
Like you're thinking more the 11 group?
No.
It was
nobody's touching the 11s. I'm talking Tucker Kraft, you could make an argument might be better than a tight end we've had in a long time because he does everything. Does this group have the potential to sniff 14's group?
So the 14 group was Jordy, Randall, Devontae was a rookie. They opened the season who was the wide receiver that they put on Richard Sherman's side? Jarrett Boykin.
Okay.
So I think they could probably do a little bit better than him. But if Romeo Doubs is A, still here if he's not traded to Seattle, and B, if he plays comparable to what he's done the last 3 seasons, if you add Devontae, one of those two guys from the 2023
No, I
class
didn't say Devontae is not part of it. I'm saying right now. You looked exasperated when I said that is the biggest point of trouble for me on this roster. You looked like I had just shot a bird. Whatever. Got your dog.
Not
hurt your cat.
Okay.
That's how you looked. And then I started
I was
thinking,
surprised.
Why?
That you said that.
How on earth could you be surprised?
Because I feel like corner is even thinner.
Corner?
Yeah.
Jair's still on the team.
But we know he won't be.
We think. We don't know.
I know you have been very cautious with that because of the Aaron Jones, and this would be the inverse of Aaron Jones, where we all thought he'd be back and he wasn't.
I can't read any of that talking text line either.
It's pretty far away.
Yeah, it's a long haul today. So,
Jesse, do you want to read it to Tausch?
If it's really good. Yep. Well, so Jason, let me just ask this. So
without Devontae, no, it's nowhere near 14.
And I don't think even with it is. Not right now because Watson's not going to be available. So you have a great relationship with Devontae Adams. I am not sure if you've reached out. You don't even have to tell me.
Yeah, I have right there.
Okay.
He texted me back.
What?
He said, say hi to Tausch.
I keep hearing he wants to go west. Oh, he wants this. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this isn't quoting Devontae. Devontae wants to have a Hall of Fame career. He wants to finish with a good quarterback. He wants to have a chance to win, and he wants to be paid fairly.
Yep.
Are those the 3 things?
Yep.
Where's geography on that list for Devontae?
I don't think it's as high as.
Is it on the medal stand? I just gave you what I think is my medal stand.
I think it's at least 4th and maybe even farther down. Remember, this is a guy who played.
By the way, Jesse, that is interesting nuggets from Jason when I asked him a question, just so you know.
When you think about, this is a guy who played in the 14, 16, 19, and 20 NFC championship games.
Yeah.
Has never been to a Super Bowl.
Right or wrong.
Just spent the last 3 seasons.
Miserable.
2 with the Raiders, 1 with the Jets.
Miserable.
I mean, you could have found worse teams, but not by much.
Yeah.
The way things went for the. So he is a ridiculous competitor. Mm-hmm. He cannot stand losing.
Yep.
So this would make sense again because he would make this team even better.
And you would acknowledge that he knows he was wrong about his guessing of Jordan Love.
Sure. He's admitted that.
Jordan Love is a guy he would love to play with. Fair?
Yes, very fair. He has admitted that. He did a podcast with Max Crosby where he said, I don't regret changing teams.
But he does.
But he does. But he was wrong about Jordan Love. He absolutely was. But look, he wasn't the only one, right?
And
including Goody.
Yeah. No, so I have had people say, because I put this out on Twitter yesterday, and I got a lot of people agreed with me. A lot of people didn't. He's too old. He's a diva. Is there anything diva-ish about Devontae?
I think if you watched Receiver and the times he got pissed off during his time with the Raiders, it may lead you to think he is that.
So you think that there's –
I don't agree with that.
I know you don't because, whatever. But there is that –
ornery when we're –
No, I'm not.
You're got after me about the bagels and the juice now.
There's nothing that's more irritating than you projecting feelings on him.
Don't tell him when he's ornery.
Yeah,
he doesn't
really,
like
I
that.
can understand why you
I'm
guys...
not telling him how he feels. He's being ornery to me.
Am I being ornery?
Don't ask young
both,
people that
they're
are
both
afraid
saying,
of you.
No, you look great.
They're
you
saying
feel good.
nothing. They're not even looking at you.
There was a very stoic response there. So I just don't understand the diva. And people have to remember, Davante Adams, the summer before he left, wanted a full-on commitment deal from Green Bay before Rodgers came back.
Yeah.
He wanted to stay here forever. Right. This whole misnomer about him demanding a trade never happened.
It did not.
So let's get that out of the equation. And then the other part where Vinny and Eric on my drive down on Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ this morning, they asked me, is it possible he just doesn't like Green Bay as a city to live in? And listen, man, I understand there's certain guys, I love playing in Green Bay. Fit me perfectly. I'm not everybody. Trust me, I know. But I think it's different when you're 22 to 27. Like, there's a difference if you're about that life. You want to be in Miami or New York. I get it. But from a football standpoint, do you really think that Devontae would rather be out and interested in clubbing and all the other stuff that I think that question leads me to believe? Or is he about winning and wanting just to – because if you're in Green Bay, it's about ball. And it's about a coach that knows you. It's about a quarterback that understands you. And it's about a role that, quite honestly, you're not going to get every place you're going to go.
Yeah, he and Dev have been married for 5-6 years. They have 3 kids.
Yes.
Like, he's in a totally different place in his life as well.
So can the narrative – I'm not going to say you should squash. But I heard Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on my drive down this morning also talking about, well, the rumor is he wants to go west. That is not that high on the list, or
I think securing a gold jacket, I think showing that he is still very productive, I think winning are all well ahead of geography. Now, am I saying that geography doesn't matter at all? No. But also quarterback matters. Winning culture matters. Now, I think
redemption.
I think
any redemption part.
I think that again, I don't want to speak for him, but I don't have to. Look at what he has done on Up and Adams when he's been on with Kay Adams, no relation, multiple times. I didn't hear him talking about the Chargers or the Rams or the 49ers or any other West Coast team. I heard him talking a lot about the Packers. For a guy who hadn't played for them since the 2021 season, there is a reason why he was doing that. I wrote 2 weeks ago that he is open to a reunion.
Yeah.
Whether or not that happens, I do think money is part of it too, though. Like, if you're going to lowball him, like you did the last time he left, probably not going to – the other parts of it are not going to be enough to overcome that.
Sure.
So, I again –
what do you think that number needs to be for him? Low 20s?
I was going to say – well, Adam Schefter said 16. That felt low to me.
So low 20s.
18, 20?
Ask him.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. I don't know if Prize Picks does this. $20 million. Devontae.
I don't think
more
they
or
do
less. I don't think they do that, but you get the drift. With over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody, and it's simple to play, more or less. And all you got to do, get more than 2 projections, 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks available in more than 30 states, and trust me, I am tech inefficient.
Inept.
Yeah, whatever in you want to put it. And it's easy to use. I can even do it more or less on those player stats and win 1,000 times your money. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey and esports and much, much more. In the second half of the season, it's heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. So don't miss out on that chance. Download the app today. Use code WI, great state of Wisconsin, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game. Brian Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison Weight Loss, the program that I experienced for 60 days from the middle of August to the middle of October of last year. And over those 60 days, I was almost able to lose a pound a day. I dropped 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat, and all I had to do was change up my diet. It's the natural, healthy approach to weight loss, just changing what you eat. It's amazing the results you can see just by changing up your diet and receiving the expert coaching and guidance from the team at Madison Weight Loss. Summer is coming. Spring break is coming. For those of you going on a trip here in a couple of weeks, you want to be feeling and looking your best for when you're out on the ocean, at the lake, at the pool. Well, a great way to do that is to get in touch with the team at Madison Weight Loss. They'll help you shed the pounds you've been looking to shed for quite some time, and you'll even exceed expectations the way that I did. Schedule a free consultation in person or virtually at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Madison Weight Loss. Results may vary.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
And we've been doing this for 30 years, and here's the thing, Grandma might have made apple pie for the past 60 years of her life. That doesn't mean Grandma's apple pie recipe is any good. Goody needs to fight nostalgia, fight the thought that we just should draft the best players available as opposed to drafting guys who fit a really good scheme.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruberg Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
Our famous friend joins us now. It is Brian Bulaga. Brian, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Well, we're together.
Yeah, we're better off. That distance makes the heart grow fonder deal.
And makes me less irritating, I think. But, hey, we're happy to have you to break the tension. I am curious. Tausch was just saying this. We're talking about Davante Adams, and we'll get your opinion on that in a moment. But if you had the chance to be reunited with the Packers, let's say they, your health is a little bit in a different place toward the end of your time with the Chargers. Packers want you back. Campy's coming on staff as a scout again, and they give you a call and they say, Blue, we want a veteran presence who's going to be able to back up both tackle positions. We know you can't play guard. Would you be willing to come back? Would that have held appeal to you? Because we're trying to figure out how much appeal that would hold to Davante.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it would hold appeal to me. Obviously, he's in a much better situation than I am because he's still playing at a high level. My role probably at that point wouldn't have been at playing at the high level that he is, right? I mean, I probably would have been, in the stage of career that I was in. But to me, it would because, I would know the system. I would know the area. It's a comfortable situation. Probably knowing at some point throughout that season, there's a high probability that I would see snaps, most likely. It's normally the way those things play out, normally how things work out. And if, the body felt good and the performance was there, maybe you earn time and things like that. But, to me, it would be something that would interest me. And again, I don't know how Davante's looking at it. I have no idea. But if the money is correct, and I heard you guys talking about that earlier on, and I don't know what the number is going to be that he's looking for, but if the money is correct, I don't know how, in his mind, it wouldn't be a comfortable fit going back there.
So Tausch made a point earlier, and is often the case with him. At first I was like, wait, what? And then the more I thought about it, the more I decided, you know what, he's probably right. This team needs Davante Adams, doesn't it? If you look at where this wide receiver group is with the drops, 19 drops combined just by Jaden Reed with 10 and Dontavion Wicks with 9, 33 as a team. Watson's injury, Dobbs, I just don't know how to feel about Romeo Dobbs these days, and I wonder how the Packers truly feel about him. Bo Melton, Malik Heath, that's your list right there. Those six guys. I was thinking that corner was a bigger concern because you've basically got Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine, and that's it because I don't believe Jair is going to be back. And even if you bring back a guy like Eric Stokes on a one-year prove-it deal, I don't know how good I feel about that. But I think Tausch is right. I think the wide receiver is an even bigger concern. How do you view it, and how badly do you think this team needs to bring back Davante or do something else at the position?
Yeah, I think the position definitely needs to be addressed. I look at it too with Dobbs, not maybe from what's happened in the past or what happened earlier in the season with him being absent from work and not, showing up for whatever amount of time it was. But for me, it's
2 days.
It's the concussions. Yeah,
In a game.
Whatever.
And suspended for a
days were.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's the concussions and the back-to-back nature of it, and how bad that looked in the Philly game, and even with the Guardian cap on. I understand that thing's not foolproof, but just the nature of that, right? He missed a lot of time from the first concussion, and then it happens at the end of the season, and you saw the way he got carried out. So, whenever those things happen, that's concerning, and it's concerning to me just as a former player when you see another guy like that. If I were to see another teammate, struggle with those types of things, that would worry me, worry for just the health of the guy. So right off the get, that's a concern. And Reed and Wicks, I've said this a bunch. Like I think they're good football players. I really do. I just feel like if they get a guy like Devontae in that room they could learn from a guy like Devontae, they would elevate their game so much more. Like to learn from Devontae Adams is like, going to med school and learn from the best doctor known to man. Like, and he's teaching you. Like that's the guy that you get to go into the operation room with every day and watch how he does it. Like, and that's what you get with Devontae. And Devontae has always been a guy that I think when young wideouts come in, he's always been, at least from my knowledge, being around him and seeing how he operates with the younger guys, they're like an open book, helping guys out, trying to get guys on the same page, and it would be no different. And the thing with these two guys, Wicks and Reed, they're not young guys anymore technically, right? I mean, they're going, they played a lot of football. They're not technically rookies or second-year players, so they have experience. So they should be able to really understand what Devontae's trying to help them out with, kind of the message he's trying to get across, and they should be able to, really take that and run with it. Now, could it be, maybe a little uncomfortable at first because they could feel like, they're bringing someone in, he's going to be taking, reps and potentially time and potentially catches and touchdowns away from me? Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could be, but at the same time, we started this last season, right? Everyone said we're all in this thing together. There's no true number one. We're all trying to, we're all just trying to win. Well, that's got to be the same case right now. It's got to be the same case if you bring in a guy like Devontae. So, I think it would be good. And then obviously, you mentioned it with Watson, with the knee injury. I've gone through it. Tausch has gone through it. He's going to be fine. He's going to recover from it. It's just, when is he going to recover from it? And is he going to be up to full speed when he does recover from it towards the back end of the season? And you don't know at that point. And that's the whole thing. Like, he's going to be fine eventually. That's not the issue. It's, will he be able to, hop right in and be going 100 miles an hour when he gets back? And that's the question. So I think having Devontae in that room would be very, very good. Very good for the team. Very good for Jordan Love. Very good for the offense. And very good for just that room in general to have a guy like him in there.
So, Brian, you just put up a bunch of different reasons that it would make a ton of sense. The other part is he is going to take the number one corner. Number one corner is going to go with Devontae. That is going to help probably as much as, how you run routes and how you be a pro and everything else. But one of the things, and you played with him, I did not. I keep seeing, and I mentioned it with Jason, who knows Devontae very well, this whole idea that he's a diva. We have not had the diva wideouts in Green Bay, and I think a big part of that is because you have a quarterback that is going to overshadow. When you have an overshadowy quarterback, it's a lot harder to diva it up. Was Devontae a diva?
Not in my experience with him. I never noticed that. Guy worked about as hard as anyone that I was around. You know what I mean? And the thing was, he learned from Jordy and James Jones and things like that. And those guys weren't. So, it was all how guys.
Well, Jordy was a bit of a diva. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
only on the farm.
Yeah, only on the farm when he had to milk the cows. He didn't like doing that. So Devontae learned from those guys, and they learned from guys before. So, it was something that they just, go about their work. Yeah, of course, every wide receiver at all times thinks they're open and they want the football. Of course, that is the general
You
rule
want
of thumb
that.
for receivers.
Yeah, you want that.
Yeah, but you want them to feel that way, right? And that's good. Yep. But to your point, Tausch, I mean, you kind of said it. Like, when you have a guy like Davante and he pulls the number one corner, and Jason, you were kind of talking about this too last time we spoke about scheming, right? And what happens when you have these type of players like Davante. Defenses now have to scheme against Davante. And when defenses have to scheme against Davante and coaches like LaFleur know that teams are scheming, you now can scheme against that as an offensive-minded coach and really cut defenses open based on patterns and coverages and how defenses are going to roll to Davante. So that'll be a huge, advantage for the Green Bay Packers if they get a guy like that can really make defenses shift coverage to him every single snap.
Yeah, a couple of my favorite interactions with Davante. One was it
ordering that gordita?
No,
in his basement?
in his drive-through. Yeah, no. One was during the game. I think it was against the Bears one year, where there was
chalupa.
That sounds very close to free advertising for something other than an ice cream shop. One was when I think it was against the Bears, and there was an incomplete pass, and he counted the three guys that were all guarding him. And then the other time was when we were doing a Zoom together with him, and he pulled out his phone and showed on the film there was a play where I think it was against the Ravens where Wink Martindale quadruple covered him, and there were four guys around him on a pass. That he may not draw that level of attention at age 32, but he's going to draw plenty of attention, and that's going to make, to Tausch's point, the lives easier for all those guys. And I keep going back to this, but these young guys never had that guy, right? You mentioned Jordy and James Jones and Randall Cobb. When Davante came in, he got to be around all those guys and grow in his own way. He got a bonus year in 15 when James Jones came back because that was the one guy he wasn't with, and he had a huge influence on Davante too. As much as we like Christian Watson and feel like he emerged as such a great leader.
You've never really been in his fan club, if I'm being fair. I have been.
I'm not sure that's true, but again, I did say he was wiry. But as great of a leadership skills package he has, he still doesn't have the experience at all as all those first number one guys did.
Got to have the pelts on the wall.
And so I think that's a great point, Brian. And I don't root for much, but I'm rooting for this in a big way, and I hope that it happens. All right, we want to get to a few other things with you, including the return of Brandon McManus, which I think we all agree was a no-brainer, but also important. We'll get to that. And I keep, because we do Tackle Talk every Wednesday, I keep thinking about the fact that 60% of their offensive line is going into a contract year, and another 20% of their offensive line is an unrestricted free agent right now. And just like Tausch pointed out,
that's 80%.
Mathematician, right?
That's very good. Very good.
As much as,
and I'm guessing the other guy that's not part of that 80%
wants a new deal. Yes.
So that's 100%.
So I want to get into that as well, because as Tausch, even though Tausch was right about the wide receiver thing, and I was wrong to give him a quizzical look, not a whatever you said the look was, I think there's more conversation to be had about exactly what they're going to do on that offensive line, and I want you to help us compare it to what the Bears are doing. I'm sure your Bears buddies have been texting you, being an Illinois native. Those Bears, man, they're going old school. They're bringing guys in. They're bringing guys that are getting ready for third contracts in. And that's not something that Goody does. We'll talk about that as well as we roll on with Brian Bulaga. It's Wilde And Tausch.
And Will Garlock, the two-handed jam.
To the pros.
Dane takes it into the paint, lobs up top. Yes, slams it home.
The biggest games play on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. In upside to the Michigan State loss, Nolan Winter collecting a career-high 17 rebounds. Greg Gard on watching the sophomore soar, audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
You've seen his growth throughout the year. I mean, just in terms of how he's stronger, more confident. But no, I think it's just as he continues to mature and get stronger, it should become, I think, more, not 17 every night, but more of the norm and not the exception of him getting double figures on that category quite often.
Get to hear from Winter on the Jump Around Thursdays at 1 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
We are live at the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center. You are looking live at Reverse Cam, a bird's eye view of the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, which appear to be empty currently. Jesse, you're barely even in the frame. But more importantly, joining us from his humble abode in Florida, it is the former great Packers offensive lineman, Brian Bulaga. Speaking of great offensive linemen, you got one that you think is really good. You got 3 guys that you really like, but you don't know how much you like them in terms of what you'll pay them. And you got one guy that's probably going to walk for a more lucrative offer elsewhere. Brian, when you look at this offensive line, what do you see in terms of the flux that it's in? Because I kind of feel like I didn't do a good job of putting in perspective just how up in the air that position is over the next, say, 18 months.
Yeah, it's certainly they're coming to an interesting point with this, right? Like it's it's going to be interesting to see what Goody does with it, and obviously, again, we're going to find out here pretty soon what happens at the center position with Myers. I think probably he will test the market and probably sign elsewhere. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, I could be wrong, but with what you mentioned, all these other guys kind of right down the road, I just don't see that happening. How Green Bay's normally always done things, and traditionally, is they normally have 2 to 3 guys that are paid on the offensive line, and that's just how they do things. Like it's normally not, 4 but again, I could be wrong, but I don't see it. So with that, like you look at the guys that are left, right? Like obviously it's going to be like Zach Tom's going to get an extension. There's a no-brainer. Yep. I really think that Elton is going to get an extension. Now, I know they don't like to re-sign guys to third deals these days. I understand that. But I think Elton provides a ton of value. I really do. I think he's still playing at a really high level. And I think he's going to kick into the center position. And I also think that he can be a guy that can play guard. Obviously, he can play guard, and he can easily play tackle in a pinch if you need him in a small, situation. I wouldn't say for a season, but in a small, quarter or so, he could go out there and do it. And then obviously Jordan Morgan's under contract as a first-round pick, so you have him in for a few more years to figure out kind of where he is at as a player. And then Sean Ryan and Sheed are kind of the two guys that
got to prove it.
I'm not sure
again.
where the organization sits with them, right? Like, I mean, we kind of saw the way Sean Ryan was kind of moved about a little bit, and kind of how he was in, and then he was out, and then he was back in, and I thought he played well. So I don't really know how they view those two guys and kind of their thoughts on them. So to me, I don't really have an answer on how they, are those guys that they're going to pay, or are they not going to? Like, I have no idea. So, like, it's up in the air to me if those would be guys that they would retain or not. But it's all dependent on how they continue to play and perform.
Brian, I teased this yesterday. And I believe, and tell me if I'm crazy, I think with all this uncertainty, they're going to draft guys. We know that. That's always part of it. They're going to hope the Glovers and the Monks develop and do kind of what Sean Ryan did. It kind of had a red shirt year. But I think that you flip that tape on in that Philly game, and I think Goody saw, you hear urgency. Urgency is about solving problems now. That's what urgency is. And a little birdie's been chirping in my ear that the Packers are dabbling around veteran interior offensive linemen. It is not the Goody way, but do you think that with the way that game played out when Elton went out, do you think that maybe could change the mindset? And maybe Goody looks at, I'm not saying Kevin Zeitler, but I'm saying guys like a Kevin Zeitler, a guy that's older, that is proven year in and year out, that can kind of bridge that gap. And if Jordan Morgan emerging as he's the left guard, and a Zeitler type is your backup that's there, that can play all those spots, I feel like that's one of the spots. Look out. Maybe not that first wave, but in that wave, that early part of free agency, Green Bay looks at an interior offensive veteran lineman and snaps him up. Is that a crazy thought?
Like a guy like Ricky Wagner, who they picked up to replace you.
Yeah. So I don't think that is far off, Tausch. I mean, to me, I'm hoping they do something like that, to be honest with you. Because, like, I'm all about drafting guys and developing them. That's been the motto there for a long time. I was part of that motto. You were part of that motto. Like, I'm all for that. But the Philly game is something that's going to continue to stand out to Goody and to the offensive line coach, to Butkus and LaFleur. Like, you can't be put in that situation again. Like, it can't happen again. So, to me, that is something that could certainly happen. Now, who's out there? I mean, you mentioned Zeitler. Obviously, he's proven that he's battle tested. He can do it. I don't know who else is out there. We'll have to see. But if that was something that got done, I would not be shocked at all. I would not be shocked at all.
Yeah, I just feel like the Packers have been. I think that's one of the sneaky ones. Everybody's got wide out in defensive line and corner and trying to find different ways. The Packer way has always been what Blue just said: develop, develop, develop. And it's not. It's something more. What's the dude's name? The former first-round pick that was the swing tackle for
Andre Dillard.
That was more of an August after there's an injury.
Correct.
And this is more proactive. Like, we got to address this.
Well, first of all, again, Kevin Zeitler is going to turn 35 years old on Saturday. If Brian Gutekunst does that, I will be the first one to applaud him, because I think there is value in players like that. Not to play 17 games, or maybe he does, right? I mean, you have a situation like David Bakhtiari, who plays one game in the first game of the season, is lost, and you're juggling. You're playing a seventh-round pick who didn't play at all for you the previous year in Rasheed Walker. It worked out okay because Rasheed turned out to be pretty good.
Yep.
But that's not always how it's going to be. I always think it helps to have the Eric Wilson-type player, and Kevin Zeitler is more accomplished than Eric Wilson. But I want to ask you both this question, because when I think of your 2014 offensive line, Brian, I go back in the draft history, sitting in the 08 draft, TJ in the 09 draft, you in the 10 draft, Bakhtiari in the 13 draft, Corey Linsley in the 15 draft. All you guys were staggered. And so you could sign a guy to his second contract without it being, holy cow, we got a guy who's up in free agency this year and we got 3 more next year. Is this, I get it, it's a young man's game, but when you are in a situation like this, how much more complex does it make it? You basically have 3 guys playing together who are also vying to be the guy or the 2 guys that get an extension. It was always, they drafted Tausch and Cliffy at the same time, but the rest of the guys on your offensive line weren't all drafted simultaneously. Does that create a challenge for Russ Ball and for Goody, especially when you only have 7 picks and you can't say, all right, well, we're going to pick 3 linemen again like we did in multiple drafts previously? They did 2 last year. Can you do that if you only end up with 7 picks?
No, I mean, I don't think you can. I mean, to me, it certainly creates a little bit of an issue with how you're gonna work, who you resign. I think for Russ and for Goody, right? I mean, obviously you're gonna take it down to the wire and who performs the best and where you feel like the need is the best, right? Like, I think that's how you're gonna decide on who you resign at whatever given point that is, and normally it's free agency or the tampering period or whatever it is, right? But yeah, there was never a point in time where everyone was up at the same time like these guys are. So, like, this is a very different situation. I don't really know how they do it. And then, obviously, as you're going through the season, I mean, all these guys are friends. Hey, are you having any contract conversations? Are you having any contract conversations? Are they talking to your agent? They talking to your agent? I mean, it's just all natural stuff that happens throughout a season, which is also another dynamic. Not that it impacts anyone, but it's also stuff that just naturally happens through guys' conversations. But I think the obvious one, right? I mean, Zach Tom is the obvious one that I don't think there's any question is going to get handled very. I mean, I don't know, Tausch. Maybe you know better. Sooner than later would be my guess. I mean, I don't know if that's training camp.
I would be shocked I'd be shocked if he isn't done by training camp. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
That'd be one of those training camp right up against it. Maybe Zach is like, oh, my hammy's not great. I'm not going to be able to practice till this deal gets done. One of those deals. But then you have these other guys. It's a fascinating spot, and I really believe you get these markings in your head. I think Goody saw that and said, I can't do that again. I can't have that.
Like he did with the kicker.
There are points, and I will be surprised. And I did not think that this was going to be the case. I think there will be a veteran signing before the end of March. I don't know when the Ides of March are. I'd say the Ides. But before the end of March, you're going to see Green Bay dabble in that game, which normally they don't do. They do that only in emergency if somebody is injured. This is going to be, I think, a different year because maybe some of these young guys, you got to push a little bit too. You can't just bank that these young guys that they drafted last year. We have been very fortunate that the Sheed Walkers have worked and the Sean Ryans have worked and all these. It doesn't always happen. Look around the league. So,
but you're predicting.
Correct.
I'm hearing little chirpies.
You're saying
chirpies.
It's not an Andre Dillard reclamation project, a former first-round pick
it's
who
a
didn't
guy
live
that
up
can
to
come in
a
and
guy
play.
who's done it.
It's going to be a guy that can come in and
For a
play.
while.
And then the question I have is if they do that, does that leave them more not susceptible, more likely to let Jordan Morgan go battle at left tackle? Those are the questions. When I heard the little I started wondering,
What kind of bird is that exactly?
They're going to sign Zach Tom. Now all of a sudden, is that going to be where they let Jordan Morgan go out? He's only in his second year. That is where my mind went. But whether or not it's right or not, I don't know. But if they sign a veteran, I know the Bears keep adding up all these veterans. There are going to be guys. If they do that, solidify that left guard or center or whatever spot they end up utilizing, does that put the Jordan Morgan Sheed Walker battle that we thought was going to happen last year in play? I would think Sheed's done enough to not have that, but it just made me think. That's all I'm saying.
It's a valid point. And, the unfortunate part, and it's the brutal reality of the NFL. Like, for Sheed is, unfortunately, he's always going to have the competition. It's just always going to be that.
Until he gets a fat deal.
Yeah. Until he gets the contract, it's always going to be that way for him. So he just has to mentally prepare for that. And when you draft a first rounder that has said he wants to be the left tackle, you just have to go into camp and OTAs expecting to have that fight. And that's and whether or not the Packers have that mentality that they're going to try that, I have no idea. Again, we'll see what they do in the market.
Not what they say, what they do.
Yeah, so we'll see. But if I'm Walker, I'm certainly every offseason preparing to have that training camp battle.
Yeah, and
that's
Blue,
how I go into it.
And even just meeting him and talking to him at the tailgate tour last year, he embraced it. A lot of times guys will say, "Oh, that's not fair. I don't like it." He embraced it, took it, and just grabbed the bull and said, no, I'm keeping it. And that's the attitude he needs to keep. But I'll leave you with this, and this is one of my favorite sayings, and you were a first-round pick. First-round picks have to continue to prove to people in the league that they can't play. Late picks and undrafted free agents, and this is where Sheed comes, you have to continue to prove that you can. And GMs will always look at, well, he's a former first-rounder. He's got the talent. And that stuff's all fair. Those are the crosses that different players have to bear, and I think that's going to be the case. I think Rasheed Walker's done enough to be the left tackle, but I'm thinking if they do grab a veteran interior offensive lineman, I'm thinking that is telling the story that they're going to try and see if Jordan Morgan can play left tackle.
Yeah.
That's it.
It would not shock me. Yeah.
Well, again, I hope it's Kevin Zeitler. He's only a year younger than you. He's still playing, Brian, and you're hanging out with us knuckleheads. So, hey, to each their own, but we're lucky to have you. They'd be lucky to have Kevin Zeitler on their roster. We'll see if that comes together. Brian, we'll talk to you next week. I'll talk to you tomorrow on the Homer Hour. Thanks, buddy.
Yep. All right, guys.
That is Brian Bulaga, live from Florida, where I'm sure maybe they're getting the same amount of rain that we've been getting. I'm guessing a slightly warmer temperature. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center in Brookfield. Stick around. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's new Ultimate Hut Bundle. Get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and your pick of breadsticks, cheese sticks, or cinnamon sticks with the perfect dip for only $24.99. You want even more? Upgrade to large pizzas or double your wings for just $5 each. Get the ultimate feast for the ultimate value because this deal is too delicious to miss. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Free agency heating up as the New York Jets released former Packers wide receiver Davante Adams yesterday. Adams now a free agent. Some speculating a potential reunion with the Green Bay Packers could be in order, including former Packers offensive lineman Brian Bulaga moments ago on Wilde And Tausch.
I think having Davante in that room would be very, very good. Very good for the team. Very good for Jordan Love. Very good for the offense. Very good for just that room in general to have a guy like him in there.
The latest in free agency, including the Packers agreeing to a 3-year extension with kicker Brandon McManus. ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky has it covered over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Basketball, a lot of action tonight across the state. 12th-ranked Wisconsin on the road at Minnesota. Final road contest of the regular season for the Badgers. Tip time set for 7:30. That's also when 20th-ranked Marquette visits UConn tonight at 7:30. The Dallas Mavericks and the Milwaukee Bucks, 7 o'clock tip, pregame at 6:30 here on Madison's home of the Bucks.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center in Brookfield, begins now. So, Tausch, when you listen to what Brian said, both about the offensive line and about our conversation with Davante, there is part of me that maybe I have to reevaluate, and maybe this is all just a function of how the season ended, because at this time last year, we were just gushing about where this team was headed. And even Brian Gutekunst pointed this out. Can't lose sight of the fact that we lost our last 3 games, he said.
I think we PC'd. Premature
crowning. Yeah, I just – we're talking about the offensive line. We're talking –
Guilty of this, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I thought we were going to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. I thought we'd see bigger jumps. The wideouts didn't.
In fairness to you, they thought they were going to be better too.
Josh Jacobs stepped in and gave a huge bounce, even though Aaron Jones finished the season off a couple years ago great. And consistency is something that you grow into. It's like anything in life. The more you do something, hopefully the better you get at it. I think we just thought because we saw these, wow, this group's doing this. Wow, this is, we're scoring 50 points in Dallas. We get this big lead in San Fran. Well, that's just going to be how it rolls. That's not how the NFL works. People adjust. Teams see things and they do different things, and then can you counter adjust, and are you mature enough to understand what's happening and continue to grow? And last year that was not the case on a consistent basis. So I don't think it feels like, and especially in this business, everything is so extreme. Oh, they're great or they stink. This team doesn't stink.
No.
This team wasn't as great as I had hoped they would be, but their roster is good. Is it as good as Philly's? Obviously it wasn't. But now you're going to have to continue to develop the young guys, and this group needs some veteran leadership to help, because the biggest problem, I felt like explosive plays was a big problem. Well, we're a lot more explosive than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was sneaky explosive.
You're right. You were surprised when we went
very,
through the numbers.
very surprised. But the consistency, and what I wasn't surprised by was because I just remember thinking, what game did we play 4 great or really good quarters? The answer is none. I couldn't come up with any. Even New Orleans, when we ran them out of the gym and we were up there, it was like, that was kind of a sloppy quarter. And then you hear LaFleur talking about the sloppiness.
He was.
That after that Bears game, when he was talking about all that, I wanted to pick Green Bay to win. And I said whoever won that Philly-Green Bay game was going to go to the Super Bowl. I was right, but it was Philly. And Philly was just better suited to do it because young teams need to have that confidence in getting over the hump, and they never found it. Next year's a whole different animal. And I think adding a Devontae or adding some veteran leadership is going to help that process get there that much quicker.
Speaking of veteran leadership, I want to get into
Is Devontae a retread? This guy's really getting after me on Twitter. Vegas John. Is he somebody?
Maybe he was in Vegas.
Is he usually on like the talk and text line, Jesse, or is this just a Twitter cat?
I have not seen Vegas John. Not familiar with him.
Viva Las Vegas.
First off, I put this great post up about Devontae.
You do say so
and
yourself.
I think it makes because of how much sense it makes.
Sure,
it does.
Mm-hmm.
But Vegas John thinks, and he calls me an idiot, but he didn't do it with exclamation points the first time. No retreads, he says, exclamation point, all caps. So that means he's yelling it, correct?
That is what that means.
He's being emphatic.
Is Devontae a retread? So everybody's saying he's a diva or a retread. He's neither, in my opinion. Would he could be considered a retread because he was here before and he comes back?
No,
that's what a retread is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But I always think retreads are guys that are I don't think Devontae's at the end. He played for 3 bad
He's closer
teams.
to the end than he is in the beginning.
He is, but he played.
How much treads on his tire? Does he need them rotated?
So when you
does he need new tires?
When you go to Zimbrick, do they tell you was it 830 seconds or whatever it is, that 630 seconds, whatever you're supposed to have on your new tires, and then you change them when you get below
Wouldn't
4?
830 seconds be 1/4?
Well, yeah, but they still go by 30 seconds. I think. I don't think they drive it down. I'm not saying that I know a lot about.
I'll be honest with you, the new
tire tread.
New math is tough.
But I think
your
when
fraction
you get
skills
below
are great,
4,
though, Tausch.
30
Thanks.
seconds.
Yeah, I thought I broke that down pretty quickly. Love a good complex fraction too, where you have to cross multiply and add. That was always fun. I don't know if they still do that.
Were you doing that back when you were doing the Pizza Hut book club?
Oh, I love that.
But my question is, if he's closer to the time you need to change the tires, it's not like the tires are bald.
Correct.
And when somebody says retread, which I think is a tire-related reference,
it
which
is
why I was going that direction, I don't think he's there. But is he 32 years old? Yes. He had 1,000 yards still last year, despite playing for 2 teams.
He missed some games.
Missing games and playing for some not very good football teams. I understand he played with Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
But he is not what I think of when I think of a retread.
Well, then I responded to John, which
I'm enjoying the play-by-play. I got to look this up on Twitter.
Yeah, I enjoy
when
it
we're
too.
done.
But then he came back with the "you're an idiot" capitalized 3 exclamation points.
Why are
so he
if
really
this was
feels
me, you would tell me not to give him run, and now you're
no,
giving
because
him run.
I'm interested in the retread part. People call me idiots. All that. I'm fine with that. The retread part, I'm just fascinated how Packer fans view Devontae. I view him as a great player that would be awesome to have back. Some Packer fans are like, nah. And I don't know if John's a Packer. He's a Vegas guy, so probably not. But if he is in that case, Devontae, I don't know how anyone could sit here and look at it and say that bringing Devontae in isn't going to make this a better football team. I don't know how you can make that argument. Somebody can try, but you're not going to convince old T.
So is this what word would you use to describe Devontae Adams at this point?
I just know it's not retread.
and I don't think it's diva either.
And I don't think it's like even refurbished. You know how you get furniture and it's refurbished? I don't think it's even refurbished.
Okay. Well, I will put that out on the talk and text line and on Twitter, and we'll see what people view him as. I know this. We view American Family Insurance as a vital partner of Wilde and Tausch.
Packer fans dreaming of the ultimate draft day experience. I know I am. The American Family Insurance Dream Draft Sweepstakes is your chance to win a VIP trip to the NFL Draft up in Green Bay. And imagine this and close your eyes. You and a guest. Exclusive tickets. You said there's hotel accommodations? There's not much up in Green Bay right now, right? Well, AmFam's got you covered. Custom merchandise and much, much more. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't want to miss it. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter today. Again, that's amfam.com/Packers to enter the Dream Draft Sweepstakes to win an all-inclusive trip up to Green Bay. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
Retread, diva, future Pro Football Hall of Famer, how do you view Davante Adams? Chime in via the Carbless Talk and text line 844. Exactly what the Packers need right now? 844-770-3776. What phrase would you use in terms of describing how you feel Davante Adams is or what he is at this point in his career? 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and text line. Lists is more. We'll continue with more from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Madison athletes seeking elite training need to get started today at Total Athlete Performance. TAP is here to serve and educate the serious athlete with their speed, agility, and semi-private training options. Sessions are now available in both Windsor and their TAP facility inside the Verona Athletic Center. Also access remote training anytime, anywhere with the Total Athlete Performance app. Visit tapwisconsin.com for subscriptions, including monthly payment options. That's tapwisconsin.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Summer is coming, and it's time to start thinking about your summer job. Jesse Nelson here. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for many positions, including day camp and youth program leaders, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors and officials, and more. Full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. No matter your interest, schedule, or location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. Get ready for an unforgettable evening of fine dining and exceptional bourbon. Join us on March 6th for an exclusive 4-course dinner at Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie. Each course will be perfectly paired with the rich flavors of J. Henry bourbon, whiskey, cocktails, and pours. And that's not all. You'll have the chance to meet the master distiller himself, Joe Henry Jr., and hear firsthand the fascinating story behind the craft of J. Henry bourbon. Spots are limited. Visit buckandhoneys.com to reserve your seat today. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Get in the game this March at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, where free throw fortunes can be very rewarding. On Saturday afternoon, March 29th, 18 winners will spin the wheel to secure 2 or 3 prize pucks. Each winner drops those pucks down the big board to determine their total prize of up to $3,000. Then at 4 o'clock, one grand prize winner will take home up to $30,000. It's a huge day of prizes, so don't miss your shot at Free Throw Fortunes. Big fun is always a slam dunk at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
This ain't a good time, but when is it ever? I know the perfect time, and maybe that's never. So don't you dare leave me now, throw my heart on the ground, 'cause tonight ain't the night.
We'll get back to our Devontae Adams conversation, and we'll get ready to talk to Uncle Homer. But first, from a Badger football scheduling standpoint, some breaking news.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
Tausch?
Yeah? Yeah?
On your family calendar, you can put football from 5 to 6 on August 28th.
Okay.
Wisconsin,
What am I doing that
well
for?
played.
Wisconsin football sharing moments ago the season opener at Camp Randall Stadium against the Redhawks of Miami, Ohio, is a Thursday night opener, August 28th. Originally listed as a Saturday game, officially announced as a Thursday opener for the Wisconsin football season.
Interesting. Love it. Love it for a few reasons. Frees up the entire weekend rather than the 30th. Is that a night game? What did we?
They have not announced the kickoff time. I would end they're not going to play
Hopefully
it at 2
like a
in the
little
afternoon.
mid-afternoon game. Yeah,
They're
mid-afternoon
not
game.
I don't think they're going to play a Thursday mid-afternoon.
Thursday mid-afternoon. No, I mean obviously we've already went through this battle with the Thursday Friday games. It is what it is. I love the fact early in the season because the one thing you notice, college training camps start pretty early. It'll be, early August. You're chomping to get going. And the earlier you can play, the more rest you get for the next week and so on and so forth. But really, just selfishly, because the media always starts with me.
I will feel FOMO if we don't go to Ireland. We need to get to Homer coming up next.
Kathy, Ireland.
What would be the worst case scenario for your schedule? Like an 8 o'clock kickoff, an 8:30?
You're talking about for a Thursday night game?
Yeah, like what would be worst case?
No, whatever is going to be fine. There's not going to be a worst case. First game of the year, you're always cranked up and excited. I love the fact Sunday would have been the worst, if we're being honest, but the fact that it's a Thursday now, getting that kind of kicks it forward a little bit. I love it. I'm excited about it.
And he'll be in a great mood that Friday after a late night at Camp Randall Stadium. But at least you can always chill with a Coors Light.
Indeed, Coors Light, brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it is made to chill. And we got a lot of conference championships coming up. You got the tournament. You got all the fun times to sit around with your boys and a big old bucket of Coors Light. Make sure those mountains are blue on the cans, or I like that 16-ounce wide mouth. That's what I like. And make sure it's blue. It's when it's chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll talk to Uncle Homer next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's new Ultimate Hut Bundle. Get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and your pick of breadsticks, cheese sticks, or cinnamon sticks with the perfect dip for only $24.99. You want even more? Upgrade to large pizzas or double your wings for just $5 each. Get the ultimate feast for the ultimate value because this deal is too delicious to miss. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
There's a winter weather advisory this Thursday on the Jump Around.
We are joined by the one and only Nolan Winter.
See Wisconsin Badgers center Nolan Winter on the Jump Around every week for the rest of this basketball season.
We know who we are, and we know that when we attack and play to our full potential for the full 40 minutes and we don't let up the last 5 minutes, we can be a very special team.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
All right, Madison, let's face it. Predicting the bracket is hard, but enjoying a month of nonstop college basketball is easy, especially when it's paired with the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light is giving you a shot to attend the ultimate watch party in Vegas for the final days of the tournament. Just go to budlight.com/easypicks to enter for your chance to win. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch 3/30/25. Multiple entry periods. Visit budlight.com/easypicks for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league. Bring the energy and be a part of history in Madison. Join us for the inaugural League One volleyball season. The second half of the season is heating up, so don't miss your chance to see these incredible athletes up close at the Alliant Energy Center. Follow Love Madison Volleyball on their journey to the first ever championship in Louisville from April 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets now at lovb.com and be a part of this game-changing season. Volleyball is the next major league.
We're on the Badgers.
I ain't going to be scared to say that this team can make a Final Four.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
This team's good enough. They are.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right. Make sure.
You know what that music means? Live from, I assume, Storrs, Connecticut, where the Marquette Golden Eagles will take on Dan Hurley's Connecticut Huskies tonight. He is the voice of Marquette men's basketball.
Oh, don't say that.
For 35 years, by the way.
I don't like to talk about that.
35 years. It's a long time. He is also, of course, the host of the Homer Hour, which they have not shortened to half an hour just yet, but maybe that's coming. And, of course, you'll also see him on God Talk with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. You didn't tell Tausch that I apologized for last week. And
I did not. I did not tell him that. So if you'd like to let him
No,
know.
I don't need any apologies. Homer, Hurley as big of a jerk as he looks? He's a winner. Obviously, he's a great coach, but he looks jerk-storish to me.
I don't think he's a jerk. He reminds me of Kevin O'Neill. You probably may have had a coach like this. They like a fight. They look for a fight.
I like
That's
that.
So
does he. Yeah, I like that. I might be a Hurley guy.
When Kevin O'Neill was the coach at Marquette, Al McGuire one time told me that there was no game. They had a week off, and he went into Kevin's office and says, just get the hell out of here. He was like, what? Yeah, just get out of here. He goes, we have no game. There's nothing going on. And McGuire says, you'll find something. You'll get a fight. You'll do something you'll regret. So just get out of town. So I don't know if he did or didn't, but I think that was pretty smart of Al McGuire. And so, yes, that's what Hurley is. I can't comprehend how many national titles they have.
Yeah.
Still, they have
Connecticut.
Yes. They got
women,
6.
men's. Well, you combine
No,
women's with the
I mean,
men's.
women are nice, and he's a great coach, but it's not the same. Come on. What are we doing here?
Well, what do you mean? What are we doing here? There's a.
Just what I'm
if
saying,
you don't
it's
think
not
last
the
year,
same.
hey, hold up a second. The women's tournament is a heck of a lot more entertaining than the men's last year. It just was. You know that.
Why do you do
It was.
this?
Because
they have
it's
Michael
true.
Jordan. They have Michael Jordan. He's done. The ratings will be significantly
We shall
lower.
see. I'm
Women's
actually super intrigued to see if what you're saying is.
You know the answer to that. And women's
Well,
basketball.
the gal from
is fine,
USC
but you-
is supposed to even be a bigger star.
Juju.
Yes.
Juju.
Not there yet.
Okay. All right. We'll find out.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
All right,
Question
Homer.
of how much
I've been
it'll be
taking.
down.
All right, so I put this out on Twitter yesterday. And
I have
I'm
a
taking
question
a little
for you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sure.
Why don't you just
No,
take
no.
over?
It's your show. Go ahead, Doug.
No, it's not.
Go ahead.
It's
What do you
yours.
got?
No, I'm actually more interested in what you're thinking. So go ahead.
This is tough, but if you were Devontae Adams, where would you go?
I would take probably whatever the most money would be, if I'm just being
Okay.
honest with you.
Yeah, I am.
Now, if it's close, here's what I would say. I think from Devontae's standpoint, he's made a lot of money, but this is going to be his last big bite. He's going to get opportunities. He needs to look at the big picture, and from his legacy and from his impact, he is going to get opportunities here that he would not get at some of these other places that he could potentially go.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the money is going to be that much different. I don't know what Green Bay will offer him. I have no clue. I would bet it'll be close to whomever else, if it's the Chargers or the Raiders or whoever else is thinking about bringing him in. Okay? But if it is close, I think the impact that he could have here and the fact that he could redeem that arc, the story arc, of coming back and finishing, and he's going to have a good quarterback that he knows he's going to get his numbers that will help him in his Hall of Fame pursuit. I think that's why, to me, it's such a no-brainer, and it's not just me wanting him to come back because I think it's important for the team. I think for him personally, this is the one that makes the most sense. So that's what I would advise him to do.
But only if they win. If they don't win, then he's going to get blamed, right?
I don't know. The blame will go to Jordan and Matt LaFleur more than it would to Devontae.
All right.
Like,
Well,
this is now
if they
Matt
don't do
LaFleur.
anything-
This is on Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. Like, and then if Goody doesn't bring any other wideouts in, and you have the same dropsies that you had last year, you're going to criticize Goody because Goody didn't do anything, and he's talking urgency, but he ain't doing anything that would let you know that there is a sense of urgency. That's where I think that battle line is. So if you bring in Devontae, I think Goody will say, here we go. This is what we needed. Now it's up to y'all to figure out the pieces and make this offense more consistent than what it was. That's how I view it.
But you bring Devontae in. You gotta what? Make the Super Bowl, make the NFC Championship game to feel like it was worth it. Otherwise, it will be historically. Yeah, you brought him in, but it was a waste. It was just like what they say in the Jets about. Isn't that what they say in
Wow,
the
no,
Jets?
I mean now you're talking about going 5-12 and getting everybody fired. That's a whole different animal than what that would be if you end up getting beat in the divisional round to Detroit or Philly. I don't think you're going to say what an abject disaster if Devontae goes out and has a Pro Bowl year, has 100 catches, and helps these young guys and the offense is better. There ain't anybody going to be blaming Devontae for that.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, to me, it'll depend on what the team does, and like the bringing Devontae in only helps if it makes the team better, and that's my question. How much
I don't
better
think
does
does anybody think that bringing him in is not going to make the team better? The position struggled last year. They're going to get more droppy? They're going to have more drops? I doubt it.
Right.
And I think the important thing, and if you have not listened to the show this morning, shame on you. The important thing early that Jason mentioned, and I'm not saying what and if he's had correspondence. He can speak for himself on that. But this whole narrative of Devontae wanting to go back out west, I think is bunk. Because he just went as far east as you can go. I don't think Augusta, Maine's don't have a team, do they?
Not that I know of.
All right,
no.
Maine doesn't have a team. Is New Hampshire?
No, not
all right.
that I know of. Nashua?
So they went about as far east as you can go. And the fact is he wants to earn money. He wants to win a championship. He wants to get a gold jacket. Green Bay can afford him all three of those things.
Wow.
I don't know if Las Vegas can or if the Los Angeles Chargers can or the Rams. I don't know. Kansas City would be interesting, and it is further west. So, but I just think Jason, not that he's totally bunked, but he's semi-bunked that whole he has to go west narrative. He's going to go west from New York because there ain't really anywhere else to go.
It's fair.
All right.
So, Homer, I'm a little surprised, not that doesn't usually happen with you, but do you really think that if they – say lose in the divisional round and they acquired Devontae Adams and he has a 90-catch season and we see more improvement from Wicks and Reed who get a year learning from his tutelage, do you think it would be a failure then to have acquired him?
No, failure is the word, but what was the point? I mean, you do it to elevate
to give yourself a chance to have a chance.
Oh, chilly now.
Well, if you don't elevate to the next level, it didn't make any damn difference. And that's what I'm asking. What's the next level? And it's not like you have just next year. But
what if it makes Jaden Reed a better and more consistent receiver, and it makes Wicks more consistent and better?
No. I think that stuff is overrated. I don't think that it exists. But I mean, you would answer that.
So you think hitting against John McEnroe or hitting against me ain't going to make your tennis better? And McEnroe giving you tips and pointers on how to get to the net quicker and to cut angles?
Point. Don't ask me. I'm asking you. How
I
much
just asked
did the people you play? Well, to me, no. Ain't going to make a damn bit of
John McEnroe or playing me, you don't think you're going to get better after McEnroe tells you, hey, you can't go down the line there because I'm covering that and I'm hitting this cross-court little cutter.
No.
You don't think John McEnroe's expertise, if he's there to coach and help you, is going to help you more than Jason Wilde hitting a stray forehands? Come on.
No, I know what to do. If I've never played tennis before,
obviously
John McEnroe,
you knew what to do to get to a certain level. But
John McEnroe will say to me the same thing the
you
coach
don't have any
at
talent.
UCLA who coached Jimmy Connors. When I made him tell me how good I was.
What did he say?
Said you got really good hands. You got the worst feet of any Division I player I've ever seen. And did you think that was a surprise to me? No.
What'd you do?
Now this is my question for you: how much do you give the veterans you played with as to how good you were? And I go 8%.
Yeah, I'd go more than that.
Okay, how far would you go? This is
I don't
McKenzie.
I don't know
Frank
how
Winters.
far I'd go, but I certainly learned a lot about how to last in this league, how to prepare. You know, as far as your weekly routines, what they see on film, how they watch film, how you go out and play, how you adjust to certain players. It's not. Listen, man, talent is always going to out. It always will.
Excellent point. Don't you think that has been given to those receivers already that are in Green Bay versus saying, Devontae comes in everything?
Homer, you know it's different when you're talking to the big dogs. If you're talking to a marginal NBA guy, if you're talking to Michael Jordan, and you can get inside his head how he approached things, you don't think you're going to learn a little bit more? Devontae is one of the.
But if you're good, is the key. The range.
Well, you ain't in the NFL if you ain't good. Hey, you ain't in the NFL if you ain't good. You know that. Come on.
No, there's a range. Come on.
For sure. There is a range, but all I'm saying is you don't think Devontae and anything he adds, everybody will tell you he's the best route runner in the game. His footwork off the line of scrimmage, people study it and watch it
including
and mimic
the
it.
Packers wide receivers.
And by the way, if he's in your room, he could say, well, they're doing this. This is what you need to do. You don't think there's a value in that?
There is value. The question is how much, given what they've already been told in various times about what to do. It's not
so if you have him providing that added value to the wide receivers, if it's taking some pressure off them on the field as well because he's drawing the number one corner and more attention defensively, if he's helping Jordan Love be better, if he's catching 85 or 90 balls for you, I don't see how, even if you don't make the NFC Championship game, you'd be shrugging after the fact and go, so what was it all for? Like, there's other reasons why they could fail to get to an NFC Championship game. They just re-signed Brandon McManus. We all felt like he was automatic last year. He missed 2 kicks, one against Detroit on a rainy night at Lambeau and one in the playoffs. But, hey, Justin Tucker, who's got some other stuff going on, missed a bunch of kicks this year. They could be – Devontae Adams could be everything you want him to be. Jordan Love could make a big step forward. Those other wide receivers could make a big step forward. And Brandon McManus misses a 46-yard field goal, and they lose by 1 to the Eagles, and the Eagles go back to the Super Bowl. I don't think you can play the results game and then say, well, it wouldn't have been worth it to bring in Devontae Adams. I also think you bring him in for the next 2 years and you watch one of those other guys that we're talking about move into the number one role the way Devontae did when he did it to Jordy Nelson during the 17 season. I understand that I like the guy, but what I like even more is the way he fits exactly what they need at this exact moment in time in the development of their quarterback who's going into his 3rd year as a starter, in the development of the other guys in the room. I just think that this is the absolute perfect fit, and you don't have to commit to him being your number one wide receiver for the next 4 or 5 years.
You don't have to give anything
and
up
he doesn't even count in the compensatory pick equation.
And it's not going to be a monster deal that you're going to have to give him. There's just nothing negative that I can come up with.
I don't disagree with it. I say that's correct every reason. But if they go no further in the next 2 years, then you'll say, yeah, those things, but it didn't make any damn difference.
Right, but maybe it was because Matt LaFleur didn't do a good job of scheming.
Maybe.
Like it might not have anything to do with whether Adams is on the team or not.
You still do it. You still do it for all the reasons you stated. But you will at some point at the end say, yes, what was it worth?
Yeah. All right, I'm
going to judge that, and the standard is higher for him because he's very good.
Standard's a standard.
I have a bone that I've been wanting to pick with you since yesterday. Do you have time for this, or do you have to get the shooter
about
around?
Green Bay? I do have Green Bay. I'm in stores, and there's nothing going on other than me figuring out where I'm going to do my show. But, yes, Green Bay fans are the luckiest sports fans in the world.
Yes, this is exactly the bone that I have. So you basically, your argument is they are so lucky to have an NFL franchise in the smallest market in North American sports that the Packers can raise ticket prices to beat the band, and they just have to say, thank you, we're just so happy that you exist in Green Bay, Wisconsin. As if it's not a state team. It's just little tiny Green Bays. Get out of here.
It could be in Milwaukee. It's not in Milwaukee. If it was in Milwaukee, it'd be different. Green Bay people, yes, every day they're the luckiest fans in the history of the sports. They charge $10,000 a ticket. They're still lucky. They have no business having a team. It's a weird creative situation. And check every other sport, every major sport. There's no team in Green Bay. They all left. They're lucky. They have no business.
So are the
being
people
there,
of East Rutherford, New Jersey, the luckiest because they have two teams in a small city? Are the people of Santa Clara, California, thankful that the 49ers play there?
No. Come on. You know the markets that's in. You're saying the suburb. You're saying Ashwaubenon's the same as the suburb of San Francisco?
No, but I'm saying it's a state team.
Better than that.
It is a state team. People drive the hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes from Milwaukee to go to the game. There are people that commute to other NFL cities the same. Let's not just say, because they're in tiny Green Bay, the Packers should be able to do whatever they want from a price perspective.
Fine. They should. Green Bay has no business having a team. They don't have to. The team is in Green Bay.
It's actually in Ashwaubenon, if we're being.
Fine, it's in Ashwaubenon.
Getting right down to it.
And
so if they were so is your argument then that if the team was in Milwaukee, there would be a different view of how they charge for tickets?
Yeah. Yeah, no. The people in Milwaukee would not be as lucky as the people in Green Bay. That's what I'm saying. And if you're incredibly lucky, shut up, pay whatever it is, because you should know that every day you wake up, it's so incredibly unique that you have a team in Green Bay. You don't have to drive from Green Bay to somewhere else. The team is in. Think about it. Green Bay. The hell are they having an NFL team for? Check around all the other sports. There's nothing else like it, and they deserve the credit for it existing. But every day they should realize how incredibly lucky they are because they have no business having a team. Correct?
Does Buffalo have any other teams other than their NFL team? They've got the Sabres, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
There's nothing like Green Bay. Don't waste the time trying.
And the Pete.
It's fun when you two just go.
And the other thing is, Green Bay has become like Don Hudson.
This.
Mango juice.
What?
That
It
you
is
ordered.
good, by the way. You should have some more. Go ahead, Homer.
No, there's no. I'm amazed that there's an attempted argument because there is none.
I don't know. I don't disagree that they're fortunate to have a team. What I disagree with is that they should shut up and take it, I believe was your phrase, no matter what. And it's not like it's only Green Bay residents that have the tickets.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be in Green Bay. The people that have the tickets should be the ones in Milwaukee in a normal market close to the reality for major sports. So, yes, you can I mean, of course you're going to fight and you want to do whatever you can. And they can bring up all the points about the support. But the reality is that, and that should never be forgotten, you have no business having a team.
And
now,
because you have no business having a team, we can charge double if we want to, and you just shut up and take it.
Yes, you can. And you should be happy to pay the double to still have a team. Yes, exactly. You don't have to like it. You can fight it as much as you want. But, yes, Green Bay is still lucky, everybody who lives there, if the price for a Green Bay ticket is twice any other ticket at any other NFL place. Yes.
All right, I'm not going to win this argument. It still irritates me. Call a great game tonight. I will talk to you on your 1-hour program a little bit later today, Homer.
Bye.
That is Steve the Homer
was fun.
True. Was that fun?
I just because I'm always seem to be in the cross section of these fights and battles, and it's fun when you two are just going. I can just kind of.
It was
sit
fun
back.
for you. Do you agree with that? They should just be happy that they have a football team.
No, I mean they're obviously very fortunate to have a team, but no, I would definitely not agree with that.
Well, we will shift gears back because I do want to get to how you describe Davante Adams at this point in his career because retread and diva are not on my list. We'll see what the carbless talk and text line yields next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
Who would have thought after 2 seasons
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
that Greg Gard would have less of a hot seat than Luke Fickell?
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Well, you know what month it is. Make sure your March is filled with busting brackets, not busting the bank with your energy bill. I'm here to tell you can save money and help save the planet with an easy switch to Everlight Solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch to solar over the last several years. But when we first started, we weren't exactly sure what to do. That's when we met the great team at Everlight Solar, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Steinhoffels, make it your own event. Personalized colors, fabrics, and more. Save up to $800 and use Steinhoffels 18-month financing. Only at Steinhoffels. In upside to the Michigan State loss, Nolan Winter collecting a career-high 17 rebounds. Greg Gard on watching the sophomore soar, audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
You've seen his growth throughout the year. I mean, just in terms of how he's stronger, more confident. But no, I think it's just as he continues to mature and get stronger, it should become, I think, more, not 17 every night, but more of the norm and not the exception of him getting double figures on that category quite often.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Say that I'm irritated with you, especially since we're
with me.
Well, yeah, you.
Well, you
disagree. You agreed with me, and you disagreed with him about this. Green Bay people should just be thankful that they have a team. But you didn't really chime in. You just sort of sat back and enjoyed the fact you weren't arguing.
You tell me all the time I interrupt too much, and then I don't
interrupt. That stops you.
And then I don't interrupt, and you're complaining I didn't interrupt.
That's exactly what
it was
doing,
your guys' fight. I don't need to jump into every fight. Like, I knew I would get to share my piece, but you two are bandying back and forth. I don't fully – I mean, I think Homer's general point is there are no areas like Green Bay that have a professional sports team.
And no blank.
I think that's fairly obvious, but to say then that you can just take whatever they give you is crazy. Like, I couldn't agree – I couldn't disagree more. So I get your point. Like, his initial point on – Yes, are you fortunate to have a big boy, one of the elite of elite franchises in your neighborhood? Yes, it's awesome. But does that mean that you just get blanked on? No, and that's the part I would not agree with.
These are the people in your neighborhood. Jesse, are most people on the Carbless talk and text line, 844-770-3776, Team Homer or Team Wilde on this one?
There's more that are Team Homer than I expected, which is surprising.
Ooh. I'm surprised by that, too.
Matt on the road. I usually hate Homer's takes, but I'm on his side with this one.
Oh, interesting.
Drive carefully, Matt.
Joe in Green Bay might be a little biased. Packers fail to take the cost of living into consideration when saying we're in the middle of prices. Cost of living puts Green Bay near the top of the league.
I'll say this. Players, you get your league minimum as a rookie, right? Same if you're in New York or if you're in Green Bay.
Obviously not the same.
No. So that's a nice perk for players.
So it's actually better as a rookie to be in Green Bay if you're making the same amount. Yeah.
If money is your only motivator, 100%.
But if you're Joe average citizen in Green Bay making Green Bay money versus New York money, then a cost of a Packers ticket is a higher percentage of your income than the cost of a Giants or a Jets ticket, potentially.
So where do you want them where you won't be getting calls from Popke? Is that like 30? You want
bottom quartile.
Okay.
Top of the bottom quartile.
Okay.
Matt in Franklin, Homer as a notoriously very cheap person saying these things is hilarious.
It's true, although he is a very generous. He just doesn't
I just wonder when Homer's ever been to a game as not a media member. I bet it's pretty slim.
The YouTube comments, on the other hand, are getting after Homer pretty good. So it seems to be pretty one-sided over there. That it's like arguing with a wall that just won't. I forgot where I've lost the
good one.
There.
Thanks
Great
for,
line.
arguing with a
well,
wall.
life is busy. One of the things that you can't take for granted is Quick Trips. They're everywhere down here in the great state of Wisconsin. And life is busy. Quick Trip gets it whether you're craving that fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, a bagel, juice. They got it all. Quick Trip has a variety of apps as well. When you're ready, grab a Don's Pizza, 4 for $10. But wait, there's more because, of course, there's always more at Quick Trip. You get a Quickery hot dog or hamburger buns for 99 cents. Nature's Touch milk for $2.99. Urge chips and popcorn, 2 for $3.50. And it's rainy and gloomy out. How about a big old bag of soup? $6.99 for a big old soup bag on Tuesdays. And, I can't talk about Quick Trip without chicken. Oh, Monday, you got that whole roasted, beautiful chicken for $6.99. You can make them beautiful enchiladas. What else do you make with just great day for a chicken noodle soup?
A lot of soup.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, you make some soup if you don't want to go to bag of soup, or you make the bag of soup, put that in and add your own little something. That's the beautiful part about Quick Trip. They got it all. And whether it's a quick bite or dinner on the go, it's the ultimate destination. Fuel your day with quality taste. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. We'll see you next time.
So Mark Tauscher is getting some less than complimentary words to describe where Davante Adams is at this point. Retread, diva, etc. How do you view the former and perhaps once again future Packers wide receiver? Talk a little bit about that to kick off the 11 o'clock hour, which we'll do in 2 minutes live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
Norman, it's a fake. Great call and great execution.
execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlake Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. High school basketball postseason in full force later this week. Thursday night girls basketball sectional semifinal. 6-seed Kettle Moraine, 2-seed Wanakee. Boys basketball Friday night. 13-seed Madison La Follette, 4-seed Vel Phillips Memorial on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Free agency in full force right now as well. The Green Bay Packers signing kicker Brandon McManus to a 3-year contract extension yesterday, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Also, Devontae Adams released by the New York Jets. Could a reunion be in store for Adams in Green Bay? Brian Bulaga earlier today on Wilde And Tausch.
I think having Devontae in that room would be very, very good. Very good for the team. Very good for Jordan Love, very good for the offense, and very good for just that room in general to have a guy like him in there.
Find the full appearance from Brian Bulaga on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts. A lot of basketball tonight. 12th-ranked Wisconsin on the road at Minnesota. Final road contest of the Big Ten regular season for the Badgers. 7:30 tip time. That's also when 20th-ranked Marquette is at UConn. Bucks host the Mavericks at 7 o'clock at Pfizer Forum.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center in Brookfield. Are you geared up for your television?
I don't know.
recording?
We'll figure out what the wardrobe's going to be. I think we had a couple of different options, and we'll see what. You're the diva of this group. We'll see what.
I don't think that's true.
What do you have on the desk in front of you there? What's come across your desk, Old Teeler?
Gina got us both one green and one gold Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin hoodie.
Wow.
And they're that really nice, heavy, thick Champion material. They don't make ice cream.
Free advertising. Good stuff.
It's pretty sweet.
It says Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on it, Jesse. That's what it is. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Are we really concerned that me
I'm not
mentioning
really
Champion is
concerned.
going to
I'm not really
raise their sales at the local Kohl's? All right, so Jesse, I put this into the field
asked.
now.
My bad.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You really set me up.
It kind of looks like a bag of soup from Quick Trip on the video stream from afar because we're kind of zoomed out.
Do you think Quick Trip loves the bag of soup the way you enunciate that? Do you think they love I think they prefer the potatoes for sale. Potatoes for sale. No.
Listen, man.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to be authentically myself. And if you want to criticize my Quick Trip reads, that's fine. I get a lot of love.
I'm just asking
on my
about the
Quick
bag
Trip.
of soup.
No, I think that I am because it's gloomy out, I like soup when it's gloomy. And I am going to scream from the rooftops that
Maybe we'll get that for lunch.
When you go into Quick Trip, bags of soup, especially on Tuesdays, that they're for sale, grab yourself one.
Chicken as well. All right, the word diva, I don't get it. I don't see it.
Who's the biggest diva wideout you covered?
Greg Jennings.
Interesting. What made him a diva?
He did a great job of publicly not demanding the ball, but then you learned how often he did it privately.
Greg Jennings set to join the show tomorrow. That's great.
Scheduled to appear right after Bill Schrader. Did you get that sense from any of the guys you played with during your time?
I think there's always stuff that happens behind closed doors that I don't have any problem as long as you're communicating it and letting people know how you feel. You don't want to bring that to others. And I think Greg, he's joined our show numerous times. He was obviously incredibly hurt by that last year of his deal, what Rodgers said or didn't say to the dude from San Fran, and that obviously set a tone that was not great, that was not handled well. So there's the battle line that these receivers, you get to play with a great quarterback, that's awesome, but then you also don't get the credit that sometimes you feel like you deserve. If you're brought up in that way, it doesn't bother you as much if you're, if you're a Justin Jefferson and you're playing with an all-timer and everybody thinks that you're just a guy because of him. How do you react to that? You see all of this from other receivers. You have been very fortunate. You've seen some because you're a little more behind the scenes.
Sure.
But I can't think of. I think Sterling Sharp would be the one guy that, he held out for some stuff. And
on the eve of the start of the season.
And, his relationship with the media, obviously not great locally. But for the most part, you have went through all of the, the Hall of Fame quarterbacks and all of these different wideouts. There's nobody in the same stratosphere as like a T.O. or insert your favorite diva wideout here.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, there's just nothing close to that. And I think that's another benefit of having a big boy quarterback.
So the Greg Jennings story is interesting, though, because if you remember that year, the Packers tried to sign him. They offered him $11 million a year. And the reason why Rodgers said what he did, and I agree that it created hard feelings during that 12 season, and then Greg also dealt with
one of the
injuries
unwritten
throughout the year.
rules is you don't talk about people's money as players. You talk privately, but continue.
And Greg Jennings' response to the Packers was, "Don't come to me unless that number is $15 million a year."
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone in that locker room knew that Ted wasn't going to give him $15 million a year, which, by the way, underscores how much money has exploded.
Yeah, it's been good for everybody.
In terms of, we're talking about $15 million a year, and now we're looking at Davante Adams at age 32 saying, $20 million a year would be a bargain for a guy who's accomplished as much as he has. But I think that probably ticked off Rodgers too. Like, he wanted to keep that group together. He thought it was a fair offer.
That should be none of their concern.
But you saw the same thing happen with Favre when Javon Walker held out. And Favre criticized him publicly, and I got the sense that while that maybe played well for fans, it didn't play well in the locker room. That he would do that.
You just don't do that. And I was obviously not there with the Rodgers, Greg, but you heard Greg's voice when he was telling us, and he's told that story numerous times, so it's not like it's breaking news. He was incredibly hurt by it.
Yeah.
And did that set the tone for that season? You'd have to ask those guys. I was not there, but it is not where you want to be. And I think that's where, this talk of Davante, I have, Homer was saying, or Brian was saying, well, how is that going to affect these young guys? Hey, tough luck, man. If you guys were star-spangled awesome all year and you knew, hey, this guy emerged and this guy emerged, you wouldn't be having these conversations.
Right.
We'd be having these conversations. When are we extending Dobbs? When
Right.
can we get these guys signed up?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the conversation we're having. And that's the reality of this league. So Davante would be coming in. He is not going to be at the point where he is 24, 25, and I need every ball. I need all this. He's still going to have the dog mentality, but it is going to be – I just think that as you age, you know and learn and understand things so much better. You still want to be the guy, but you realize that's not what it's all about. It's going to be more team-related. And I think that the people that know Davante would probably see that same thing, and that's why I'm not up on a rooftop. I don't want to, for numerous reasons. But it's just I don't think you want to be standing there saying that this doesn't make a ton of sense, because I think it does.
So when you talk about feelings, you mentioned money. It wasn't money with the Davante departure when it comes to his potential new and old quarterback in Jordan Love. You think that that's easily water under the bridge? Like, you got Jordan Love out there talking about how much he'd like to have him back. You've heard Davante basically publicly say, yeah, I was wrong about the kid. That would be, you don't think there's any issue there?
Not even close.
We're getting some responses on Twitter, and there are people that still believe he's a retread, which – again, he's 32. I don't see that. Charlie chimes in. He says, not worth the price tag. Older receivers' names often carry more weight than their game. Again, I mean,
I don't – listen, I tend to agree with his basic premise.
Sure.
Davante's different, man. He's different. He's still – it's not like we just watched him washed up, beaten down, and not doing anything. He was still pretty doggone effective at the end of his tenure here in New Jersey. So, again, man, things happen, and I am not in the business of doing this with a lot of older players. I am not. I am on the Vic Ketchman, who I used to do a show with.
You did a show with Vic Ketchman?
Well, the Packers stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And he would always say, young man's game, young man's game, and he is 100% right in that. It is.
Except for Davante and Kevin Zeitler.
And I want to continue. No, it's still a production game.
Sure.
But if anything is trending one way, I'm always going to go young. This team needs experience. No, they need experience. They need someone, and this isn't some guy on one leg that can't play. He's still a really good wideout. Is he the same as he was when he was dominating 19, 20, 21? No, probably not. But he certainly isn't dropped off a cliff. And you're not asking for some monster new extension that you're going to get tied down to. This will be probably a pretty manageable cap number, and you're not paying wideouts anything. You got nothing on the books with these guys.
Correct. Yeah.
So that would be my plea.
It's a good plea. I would plead for two callers to play trivia. Jesse, today is – I always get confused when I'm out of the basement. Today is Wednesday, right?
Correct, Jason. It is Wednesday, yes.
That means it's Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia, and it means that there's – not one but two rounds of it because we didn't play trivia earlier in the week.
That is correct. Your favorite.
All right, we'll call.
You know today's National Oreo Day? I just got an email from Quick Trip. National Oreo Day.
I don't remember.
Do I get extra visits if I stop on my way out of town if I buy Oreos?
It looks as if you get a free Oreo.
I don't remember Oreos being a sponsor of the show.
Yeah, but Quick Trip is.
Well, if we want to play that
Oreos
game,
and ice cream, it's cookies and cream ice cream.
All right, fair. I can understand where you can see that's a conflict.
Do they sell champion sweatshirts at Quick Trip too, or is
Hopefully with the Quick Trip logo. I want to get a collection of all of our different partners, all in different champion sweatshirts. I've got my Associated Bank one on today. I'll change into my Pella one later. But before we do that, we got to play trivia. Davante was 17 everywhere he went, right? He was 17 in Green Bay. He was 17 with the Raiders, and he was 17.
What's that movie, 17 again?
Yeah.
Zac Efron.
Good little flick.
It is a good flick. Matthew Perry.
Not bad.
R.I.P.
Oh, yeah, Matthew Perry.
That is a classic. Jim Gaffigan as the basketball coach.
That was before Zac Efron got full of himself.
Well, I enjoy his work. I also enjoy trivia. Let's take caller 10 for Jordan Love and caller 17 for Davante Adams / Brandon McManus. Does McManus give up that number if they sign him?
Yeah.
I would think so as well. Caller 10 and caller 17, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 10 and caller 17 play trivia. Want to remind you, I saw David Gruber's smiling face, 3-4 times during my drive off of the highway. His face is almost as frequently on a billboard as I see Quick Trips off exits on I-43, and they're both best in class, and you know that. But only one is giving away free Oreos, and it's not David Gruber. What he's giving you is great legal advice if you've been injured in an accident. So make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber offices, one call. That's all. Now make the call to play trivia. Callers 10 and 17, 844-770-3776. We'll play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. If you're in your car right now, or even a little while from now, you may realize that this is the time of the year it's at its dirtiest. Spilled food and liquids and scratches and dirt. And, of course, salt and sand everywhere. If your vehicle is in need of some quality care, I highly recommend you check out the detailing service at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Service is incredible. It will make your vehicle feel as new as the day you drove it off the lot. The interior detail is the deep clean you know your car needs. Man, does mine with all the hockey. Ugh. Carpet and upholstery is going to be shampooed. Leather and vinyl surfaces are dressed. Interior windows are cleaned. From your dash to your doors, every interior surface gets a thorough cleaning. And maybe most importantly, especially for us, is your vehicle gets fully deodorized. And the exterior detail is much more than a car wash. It includes getting rid of tar and bugs, a light buffing, a wax, a deep cleaning of the wheels, and more. You can choose to get an interior detail, exterior detail, or get the complete detail where you get both. Learn more and check out their full new and used vehicle inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. The detailing service at Zimbrick Chevrolet. The name you can trust.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
But I think Green Bay makes a ton of sense for Devontae. But other teams will make a ton of sense for Devontae.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
But when it comes to the pool of free agent wide receivers, no name jumps off the list for the Green Bay Packers and what they need now than Devontae Adams.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And available wherever you get your podcasts.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Look, we all know that as we age, our bodies change. But Carbon World Health can help. They have a process of testosterone replacement therapy that includes a diagnostic exam and blood tests to assess your hormone levels to make sure that they are optimal for you, not optimal for your age. Carbon World Health can help you increase your energy, focus, and overall health with their approach to hormone therapy. It's all about quality of life for you. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
The inaugural student-led Wisconsin Sports Business Conference is happening March 6th at the University of Wisconsin. Get ready for speakers from around the sports world like former ESPN insider Adrian Wojnarowski, along with NFL executive and former Badgers football star Troy Vincent. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to network and learn from some of the biggest names in the business of sports. Register today at wisconsinsbc.com. That's March 6th at UW-Madison. We'll catch you there.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I say go, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I say go till you can't go. No more, no more. I say go, baby, go, go, go. I've been to a place where the drifters go. It brought me trouble, yeah, it brought me low. Time was flying, but I was rooted in my blues. When I looked up, all I saw was my soul.
It is time for trivia. Also, what a great surprise. Gabe Neitzel, who does not live in the neighborhood.
No.
Swinging by to say hi. The part-time voice of the Bucks, including last night. We'll hear him again on Saturday and Sunday's broadcast. Dave Kane back in the driver's seat tonight for Bucks and Mavs on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
I don't know if anybody's had a worse month than the Mavs.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, they got Doncic, and then they
old
got
Mark
Kyrie.
Cuban must have known what he was doing getting out of that mix.
Yeah,
what a disaster.
Yeah, it's not good. They're going to be undermanned tonight, as I heard on last night's Bucks broadcast, as I listened to Gabe and our Bucks buddy Justin Garcia. Let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. Caller 10, Pat in Madison, who is a first-time contestant. Pat, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
And then caller 17, Van in Belleville, who, get this, is a first-time contestant too. Van, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen.
This is awesome.
And didn't we have a first-timer yesterday too?
Well, we didn't have trivia yesterday.
Or Monday.
Yeah, I think we've had 3 first-timers.
Wow.
Can we
No, don't say it. No, stop.
We can't mandate?
Don't do it.
Okay.
We hope that we will have more first-timers, but we're excited to have 2 of them today. Here we go with Wisconsin Geography Wednesday Double Trivia. Pat, you get question 1. Do you want, because you were the first caller, do you want Up North Joe's questions, or do you want Jesse's questions?
I'll have to go with Jesse's questions.
There's a good chance that one of the answers that he thinks is right is not right, so good luck to you. Here we go. Question number 1, Pat, is this. The northeast region of Wisconsin, including the cities of Appleton, Oshkosh, and Green Bay, is known by which of these names? Is it called the Fox Valley, the Coulee region, or the area with the most coveted hotel rooms in the world from April 24th to April 26th, 2025?
I'm going to go with the Fox Valley.
You are correct. 1 for 1 for you. All right, Van. Question number 1 for you from the Up North Joe's questions is this.
It's a tough draw for Van.
That's what. Hey, you got to give a little bit of advantage to the first of the 2 callers.
That's fair.
So, and I had no idea these were going to be this hard, Van. So good luck. All right, here we go. Question 1. Solomon Juneau, Byron Kilbourne, and George H. Walker founded competing townships that later combined to form which Wisconsin city? Is it Madison, Milwaukee, or Mukwonaskego?
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
I would have to say Milwaukee.
Juneau, Kilbourne, Walker's Point, all good cues to use to answer correctly that it is indeed Milwaukee. All right, question 2, Pat, is this. Longitudinally, which of these Wisconsin high schools is located farthest west? Farthest west. Jesse, really well done. This is a great callback to an earlier conversation. Which of these located farthest west? Is it Delavendarian High School, Adams Friendship High School, or Gale Ettrick Tempelo High School?
It's Trempolo, but
did I say
I've heard it
Trempolo?
both ways.
You said Tempolo.
I meant to say Trempolo. Which is it, Pat?
I'm going to go with Adams.
Adams Friendship, my friend. Is it? Correct answer, Gale Ettrick Trempolo High School.
Beautiful country up there.
All the way over to La Crosse. Yeah.
Coulee region. Question 2 from Up North's questions for you, Van, is this. If you consider Wisconsin's legal boundaries and include all inland waters in the totals,
oh boy,
what is the smallest county in Wisconsin
oh boy,
at only 238 square miles?
Oh God.
Up North Joe.
Joe.
All right.
Classic UNJ.
All right. So smallest county when you consider legal boundaries and include inland waters. Is it?
That's so ridiculous.
Is it Pepin, Ozaki, or Marathon?
I'd have to say Ozaki.
Fine guess.
I'm going to say Pepin.
Pepin. Yeah, Pepin.
Yeah, because Marathon County obviously has a lot of land surface, all that ginseng.
I don't
do a lot of ginseng
I
up there.
don't know where is Pepin up there too?
I'm not even 100% sure.
A lot of land surface.
I think Tausch was just hoping there was a ginseng question like there was that one time. All right, let's bounce back, both of you. Let's go back to Jesse's questions for you, Pat.
Those inland waters will get you.
Yeah, it's very tricky. Question 3. Jesse has to drive from Sun Prairie to Neenah to do some Bowl Stream TV announcing work this weekend. If he drives through the speed trap of Rosendale, which highway would Jesse take connecting 151 to I-41? Now, some of us bypass that and just stay on 151, but be that as it may. Would Jesse be going through Rosendale on Highway 26, Highway 33, or Highway 91?
Highway 26.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's like stealing.
So here's what's interesting. So, Van, your question is in the Up North Joe category, but it's using almost the same wording as Jesse's question.
Jesse's taking Up North Joe's basic fundamentals,
reconstituting them,
and then just kind of pasting and taking different things to make it as equal as he possibly can.
In the creative business, we call that inspiration.
Or
it's inspiration adjacent, I would say.
All right, question 3, Van, is this. Up North Joe has to drive from Whitewater to DeForest.
Now, Up North Joe is putting himself third person.
This is what I'm saying. I don't know if Jesse
We have
did
created
this,
a monster from Up North Joe.
Up North Joe has to drive from Whitewater to DeForest to do some electrical work today. Which of these roads will he not drive on to get there, following the fastest route?
Good disclaimer.
So this is the one highway that he does not take from Whitewater to DeForest.
Well, where in DeForest is he going?
I don't have that information.
Not relevant for the question and its corresponding answers.
It may be.
Is the one road he's not taking among these three Highway 12, Highway 51, or Highway 69?
Ooh.
This is hard. This is ridiculous.
I think I know this one. This is not an easy question.
Van, what say you?
I'm going to have to say 69 because that one runs through Belleville.
Well, there you go.
Competitive advantage.
That worked out pretty well for you, I think. Luckily, you're from Belleville because that was a very difficult.
Feels like Slumdog Millionaire there, doesn't it? Where he's sitting there, and the pictures just start flashing in his head.
I was going to say more like when Cliff Clavin is on Jeopardy.
Yeah, but
this is Cliffy's dream board.
He has an experiential advantage. That's Slumdog, is it not?
It is. It's a classic. Did
Great
that win
movie.
the Oscar? It's one of the few Oscars. That and Shape of Water, your two favorites. All right, you both got 2 out of 3 right, so you both have 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. So, Pat, thank you for playing. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And Van, I'm glad you live in Belleville so you could get that third question right. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you as well.
LYG.
I love you guys.
Ooh. LYG. Love you guys.
Oh, I like that.
LYG.
It's like
Lights.
LFG.
What is the road that goes through Whitewater and comes up if you go the back way instead of jumping on the interstate? I thought that was Highway 69. Is it not?
I have
whatever
the GPS tells me to turn on to, I turn on to.
Is that also 26? Does 26 run all the way from?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Well, I'll look into that during the break. I'll get out my cartographer's kit and try to get you an answer to that. But in the interim, that is the end of Wilde And Tausch Trivia. And Whoa Nelly, which I know is very popular here at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yeah, people love it.
Is next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, you know, I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. It was great then, and it's great making new memories with my family now. It is the best month of the year for basketball fans, and Pizza Hut is the perfect addition to your game day viewing experience. Whether it's a night in on your own or you're having the whole crew over to watch all of the best tournament action, stock up with some original stuffed crust pizza, wings with your favorite flavor sauces, or a bunch of the other delicious options Pizza Hut has to offer. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Brackets, buzzer beaters, and pizza. Make sure Pizza Hut is part of your tournament viewing plans this month. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
There's a winter weather advisory this Thursday on the Jump Around.
We are joined by the one and only Nolan Winter.
See Wisconsin Badgers center Nolan Winter on the Jump Around every week for the rest of this basketball season.
We know who we are, and we know that when we attack and play to our full potential for the full 40 minutes and we don't let up the last 5 minutes, we can be a very special team.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. You can see me turning. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around.
Thanks to Gabe Neitzel for stopping by to hang out with us. That was really fun. He's such a good dude. We're lucky to have him as a teammate. Time now for everyone's favorite part of the program. Well, maybe not everyone, but from what I understand, Andy and Ty love this segment of the show. It's time for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
on Wilde And Tausch.
Oh, interesting news out of Seattle.
Corbin?
DK Metcalf is on the trading block?
Corbin Burnson reporting.
Darn!
Tyler Lockett on his own. I don't know if this is Twitter or social media. The old 12s, the Seahawks have said, deuces B. Tyler Lockett. I don't know what number Tyler is, but he is available. So another veteran wideout.
It's a purge.
That's not going to cost you anything to come in.
Nah.
Okay. I'm just reporting the news, brother.
Appreciate
Just
the news
reporting
update.
the news.
Came across your desk. Oh.
It did. Next to my bag of soup.
Whoa, Nelly!
That probably means DK Metcalf's going to get re-signed.
I would think that that's probably true, even though they do have Jackson.
Even though I was told that they're going to trade, right? Corby told me.
That's Corby.
And then he backed off that and 5 other things. That's a whole nother story.
Hi, Jesse.
Whoa,
I see you there.
Nelly!
Hey, guys.
Vest today, huh?
Yeah, a little snowy out here in downtown Madison. Hopefully it doesn't
snowing in
impact
the
your travel
studio?
back. No, but it looks like if we go with reverse cam, it's coming down pretty good.
Oh, boy.
This is the worst time of the year weather-wise. Is it not?
No, it
Whoa,
is.
Nelly!
You're right, it is.
Whoa, Nelly!
No, it's slop. It's not green. Yeah. You don't know. You could get hammered with like a hammer snowfall. You're going to get rained on.
Could freeze over on the drive home.
Muddy.
Yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
Dogs get their paws
There's a lot of
muddy.
All the piles of snow and all the parking lots that are left are all brown
Everybody freaks
and
out
dirty.
about November to February in Wisconsin. No, we're getting into it. March, April, and the early part of May is the worst time to be here. Slop. Not really even golfing yet. There's a lot of things. I want snow and cold. No, but that's what makes Wisconsin.
You hated the cold.
I love
you
the
were
cold.
No, you hated the fact that we got a bunch of bitter
Without
bitter
snow.
cold without any snow. Exactly.
Yeah, but then we got snow. And I wasn't bitter.
All at once.
And I wasn't mad.
You know, he's bitter about being bitter. Jesse, how's Whoa Nelly go?
Whoa, Nelly!
Jesse, do you agree this is the worst weather?
Just agree with him
we're
so
in
we
the
can
middle.
move on.
No.
I agree with Tausch.
Thanks.
I actually do.
Should be a T-shirt.
Whoa, Nelly!
Oh, wait, it is.
So we had this cake yesterday in the ESPN Madison office.
Yes. I saw you eating it on the reverse cam.
Yes, celebrating the return of Molly Brown. So I'm the one who brought the cake in. And
Patting ourselves on the back.
along with the cake, I
ordered the bagels.
Now I brought a knife to cut the cake. And because the cake wasn't done before I left the office yesterday, because I leave pretty early, you guys know.
You left the knife.
I left the knife with the cake, which no big
And now
deal. I'll
Becca's
get it
mad
today.
at you.
Today, I'm in the shower, and I hear from the other side of the door, "What'd you do with my favorite knife?"
Uh-oh.
I didn't
I
know.
saw this coming
I didn't
4
know
minutes
there
ago.
was
This
such,
is beautiful.
Who knew there was such thing as having a favorite knife? And she said, "This is the knife I use for everything. It's how I prepare every meal when I'm chopping salad or cutting the strawberries or anything."
You act like
that's
you
my
act
favorite
like,
knife.
What kind of cake was this? Because I always get a kick out of people getting these big old butcher knives out. The cake is marble cake. You don't need a chainsaw to go through a cake.
No.
Get a butter knife. A butter knife will cut a sheet cake. But you don't need to take Mama's great knife out of the house.
Mama's.
Like, what are you doing?
We've got 100 knives. Who knew that this
sound
was
like
the sacred knife that needed to cut all the
How long have
food
you
that
been with
comes
your-
across the counter?
How long have you been with old girl?
Apparently
Blah, blah, blah.
long enough
Blah,
that I
blah, blah.
should have known that, I learned today.
Use your error by you here.
Do you have
Team Becca on this.
Similar to the sacred knife, do you have a sacred item of your home that is yours and the other person should not be tampering with? No taking this, it's mine, leave it at home, leave it alone.
Wait a minute. No, I need to know more. So you are around Becca all the time. You informed us yesterday, was it? Just yesterday that you informed us she does like 98% of the cooking.
Yes.
How were you aware that this was the most used knife in your home?
No.
Are you an observant person?
No.
Okay.
I don't understand.
We've got the whole knife block. Like there's 10, 12 knives in there that are all
taking. Is there a sheath for this knife?
Is there a sheath?
I don't know.
Seriously.
I know it's a great question.
Because
exactly.
if that's the only sheath knife, I can understand taking the sheath with the knife on the road. If you're just taking a big old butcher knife to cut a little baby cake, I'm sorry, that's idiotic by you.
Yes, you want to have a knife big enough to cut the cake. You can't have like a little plastic rinky-dinky knife that you're trying to get it done with.
Office and you cut cake.
No.
You don't need to take a big butcher knife.
If you've got,
and now your wife's mad at you because you took her best knife, and then probably you ain't gonna find it in the office.
No, I know
my
it's
mug.
right. It's right where the cake was. It's very easy to bring the knife. I just left before the cake was done being cut.
So have you located the knife?
Yes, I'm in possession of the knife. Well, I guess it's sitting over there. I can show you on reverse cam. It's there.
But this would have been a much better story if you'd have lost it.
Well, no, I just bamboozled this morning with accusations. What'd you do with my knife was not the way I saw my morning going.
What do you mean bamboozled? You took it out of the house and you didn't bring it home. And she's dicing up veggies and fruit for lunch, and she can't find it. You don't think she should be mad about it?
Just use another knife. There's 12 knives that are all relatively the same. Just sorry the one's gone this morning. Just use the other. I didn't know that knives were so coveted.
I'm Team Becca.
Yeah, I couldn't be more. It's Team Becca all day.
Yep, sorry. Thank you for playing. By the way, speaking of thank you for playing, apparently everyone's getting rid of all their wide receivers. Christian Kirk is being released.
Kirksey.
By the Captain Kirk being released by the Jaguars. Another
that didn't
wide
work
receiver
out
on the market.
Remember when they signed him and everyone said, wow, they overpaid for that guy?
He had a great
everyone was
first
right.
year in Jacksonville. What are you talking about? It didn't work out.
Then he ran into Edger.
You signed these guys for 2 or 3 years. That's what you do. He was fine.
A great
Whoa,
first
Nelly.
year.
Whoa, Nelly.
Or great's probably strong.
Saquon Barkley, 2-year, $41.2 million extension with the Philadelphia Eagles. What does that say to you, Tausch?
It says to me Philadelphia wanted to reward a guy that brought them a championship. 2,500 yards total when you start adding up the playoffs. Totally changed the culture of that team. They couldn't keep a coach. They were a hot mess. You talk about all the other stuff, great O-line, everything else. Saquon brought it all together. And what Philly said was, you brought us a championship, we're going to pay you. You're the best in the world at your spot, and we're going to take care of you. And then that sends a reverberation through the locker room, and everybody else is like, man, these boys know how to take care of us. Mm-hmm. And in the same breath, and Darius Slay's like, well, they didn't really take care of me. They just cut me. But you get my point.
They did that with James Bradbury, too. Yeah.
Blueberry.
Ray Bradbury. I don't know how many other Bradburys you got. All right, that's it for Whoa Nelly. Jesse, in honor of one of our friends who I don't think I can mention who he is, but he's here.
Okay.
I think when you return your knife, your wife's favorite knife, I think you have to hand it to Becca and say, here is your dagger. What do you think?
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Some of your best work.
We'll wrap things up next.
Wonder who it is.
Tausch.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and I'm going to tell you about Pepsi, a proud partner of the NFL and the NFL Draft as it gets ready to come to Green Bay in late April. With the first overall pick, Pepsi has selected Pepsi Zero Sugar. Height, 4.8 inches. Weight, 12 ounces. Calories, 0. And that's a good thing. Have you tried Pepsi Zero Sugar yet? It's my favorite beverage to have right now. It's all the great taste of Pepsi, but none of the calories. It's so good. It tastes just like the regular thing. Pepsi is bringing the Pepsi Challenge back for the NFL Draft. Visit the NFL Experience and put your taste buds to the test up in Green Bay. Go check it out. Pepsi also has worked with Wisconsin Badgers Hunter Wohler this fall. They're excited to see him get drafted in Green Bay in just a little over a month away. Again, try Pepsi Zero Sugar as you get ready for the draft. The perfect tailgate mixer. Pepsi and Pepsi Zero Sugar, proud partner of the NFL and the NFL Draft.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. In upside to the Michigan State loss, Nolan Winter collecting a career-high 17 rebounds. Greg Gard on watching the sophomore soar, audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
You've seen his growth throughout the year. I mean, just in terms of how he's stronger, more confident. But no, I think it's just as he continues to mature and get stronger, it should become, I think, more, not 17 every night, but more of the norm and not the exception of him getting double figures on that category quite often.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at Remax Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
From the preps
Will Garlock, the two-handed jam.
to the pros,
Dane takes it into the paint, lobs up top. Yes, slams it home.
the biggest games play on 100.5 ESPN.
So apparently this is the place to be, and Jesse's not here. Josh and Heartland just came, and I don't know if this is the Kringle that he won for the Jingle for Your Kringle. He's just re-gifting it.
There was a lot of folks that were wondering if his was not really a jingle. Just for the record.
Just because it
was great.
It was more of a Broadway show.
It was a monster production, but yeah, it was it a jingle? I don't know.
The biggest compliment I think you can give somebody is when you change the rules of a contest the next year because of the performance of someone else.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
true.
Will
It
Chamberlain.
means you changed the game, and Josh changed the
3-second
game.
rule. He's a game changer.
He's definitely a game changer, and he delivered Kringle to us, which was very kind of him, from Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition. Our tradition of doing a commercial for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is about to commence.
It is. And I'm just shocked because Jesse, when he decides not to come, is when we get the red carpet laid out. We got all these
Bagels,
exotic juices,
juices,
cream cheeses, donuts, bagels, Kringle.
And now
lunch. And Jesse doesn't come.
Jesse's getting in his
He got to
car
rub
right
that
now.
knife to knife up some sandwiches while he's there, but he decided not to. It's interesting how that works, Jelly. Old Jelly now.
Jesse, I'm sorry you weren't here, but the good news is we made sure that we had much more talented people to make sure that we had everything we needed. So thanks to everyone at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We're excited for our commercial. Thanks to Sparky, who stopped by. Thanks to Josh and Heartland, who stopped by. Thanks to everyone who's been part of the production, including Andy and Ty, who set everything up. And thanks to you for coming along for the
How
ride
about
with us
Sleek
today.
Gina, too? I mean, Sleek Gina. Ain't that something?
Thank you, Sleek Gina.
Look at her.
She's very sleek.
Yes.
Unlike us.
And very tan. Very bronze.
We got to go. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
What?
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.